Get great players. You get players that have achieved something in history. You get players who have given a lot to the game, that maybe have had magical moments. Then you get those rare players that have done it all. They've won gold medals at the Olympics. They've won not one but 2 Champions League trophies. They've scored in 2 Champions League finals. They are 4-time African Player of the Year. They are Samuel Eto'o! You don't understand. Samuel Eto'o, the Cameroonian superstar. No, they must all wake up.
Everybody must wake up right now. Samuel Eto'o is here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It is going to be massive. He's here for an incredible project as well, so he's still giving back, creating a footballing legacy. We are so privileged to have him here, and he's going to be joining us a bit later.
Yes, and we have more sporting legends coming your way as well. We're also joining on the couch is British and Irish Lions Cup.
It's going to be here. The actual cup is here. We don't get to keep it, but it will be here.
But former Springbok Zane Kirshner is also here to talk about the Lions series, of course, as well as Samuel Eto'o. If you didn't hear, let everyone know. 2 sporting legends are here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's going to be a magical show. Everyone is excited. One person who is very excited as well is Mr. Damone. Look at that face.
How many goals have you scored with Samuel in FIFA, dude?
Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know what to do with myself. This day is perfect. An absolute legend coming through the studio this morning. I need to breathe, compose myself. Be cool, Ryle, be cool. But thank you, Banzanzi, and the rest of you beautiful souls for joining us this morning. Of course, we're talking about their legend. And this is why we're asking you the question this morning. If you could meet up with an African star, who would it be and why? And if you could have lunch with them too, then tell us what that name might be. Of course, this morning, my answer is definitely going to have to be Samuel Eto'o. Of course, we're getting to chat to him this morning, but maybe I can also ask him out for lunch too. So wish me luck on that one. I'm going to try and work my little magic and charm and see if it comes right. I don't know, guys. I'm nervous. I'm excited. There's so many emotions coming through. Of course, we've got so much more other magic in the show too. But that highlight, of course, we're all looking forward to. But stick around because there's so much more coming at you. And to start it off, let's find out what's happening first up in the news.
Thank you so much, Ralph. 3 minutes after 6 o'clock, time to have a first look at what's happening in and around the world. Now, starting with your national news, economists and business experts have welcomed the National Treasury's announcement to set aside 36.1 billion rand for the social emergency relief measures to help alleviate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and damage suffered during the recent unrest. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni said at a news conference that the destructive actions had caused great damage to the country's economy. The CEO of Business Unity South Africa, Casco Vadia, says not only will the relief packages be good for businesses, but also for workers affected by the unrest. And then staying with your local news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has authorized the use of some 1,500 members of the military to help neighboring Mozambique fight an Islamic State-linked insurgency. The use of the National Defence Force comes after the Southern African Regional Bloc last month approved the deployment of troops to Mozambique to combat a conflict which began in 2017 and in which thousands have perished. Ramaphosa said the South African National Defence Force personnel would be used between July and October 15th at an expected cost of 984 million rand. And then looking to news further abroad, former US President Barack Obama has joined NBA Africa as a strategic partner, advancing social responsibility efforts across the continent. Obama will support programs and partnerships that provide greater gender equality and economic inclusion. NBA Africa conducts league business throughout Africa, expanding the NBA's market awareness and engagement with fans across the continent while growing the game. The NBA has a decades-long history in Africa and opened an Africa headquarters in Johannesburg in 2010. The Basketball Africa League was launched in May. And then staying with the international news as well, North and South Korea have restored a communication hotline that was cut off by Pyongyang last June. The leaders of both countries have agreed to rebuild trust and improve ties and have exchanged several personal letters since April. Moreover, representatives from both sides spoke on the phone for some 3 minutes and will henceforth do so every day. The 2 Koreas remain technically at war because the 1950 to 1953 Korean War ended with an armistice rather than a peace treaty. And then next, Please watch this lucky tortoise enjoy his homemade scratcher. Now, zookeepers in Dallas, Texas have made a tortoise a homemade scratching station, and a cute video shows the little creature wiggling while trying it out for the first time. Morgan Brem, a zoo intern, created the scratching device for Sunny, a radiated tortoise. Now, made from broom heads, it's perfect for the little guy to scratch the impossible to reach spots on top of his shell. Sunny has been at the impressive Dallas Zoo since 1980. Brem says tortoises' shells are part of their spine and they have nerve endings which run on the top. She explains the name radiated tortoise comes from the pattern on Sunny's shell. The top part of his shell has yellow lines that radiate out from the center and look like sunbursts, hence the name. Sunny is a firm favorite at the zoo because, says Brem, an engaging personality helps inspire visitors to want to create a better world for animals. Look at that cutie. Well, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. I'll be back on the top of the hour. Here's G with a first look at the sports.
Yes, of course, in case you missed it, gold medal winner at an Olympics, Samuel Eto'o, is going to be joining us a little bit later this morning. But let's start with the Olympics action that is playing out right now. So South Africa's Tatjana Schoenmaker, she's already got one in the bag. Her and Kaylene Corbett are now through to the women's 200-meter breaststroke final after finishing first in their respective semis earlier this morning. So yesterday, Schoenmaker, who is already a silver medal winner in Tokyo, set a new Olympic record in her heat. She'll go into tomorrow's final with the best time of 2 minutes 19.33 seconds from the semis, and then Corbett heads into that final as fourth fastest after finishing in a time of 2 minutes and 22.08 seconds. SA's Michael Sates finished 8th in the semi-final of the men's 200-meter individual medley. Staying in Tokyo, the Mexico under-23 side qualified for the knockout stages of the men's football tournament at the Olympics after beating South Africa 3-0 yesterday. South Africa finishing at the bottom of Group A after 3 back-to-back losses, but did put in spirited performances. Mexico made it 2-0 at the break thanks to goals by Alex Vega and Luis Romo. SA captain Tertius Malepe was handed a red card for a dangerous foul in the 55th minute. Their opponents then sealed the win with a third goal on the hour mark by Henry Martin. So Mexico will now face South Korea in the quarters this coming Saturday. Staying at the Olympics after winning their matches against Australia and the USA on the final day of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Olympic Games, the Springbok Sevens side have finished in 5th place. Blitzboks coach Neil Powell joined his team for their final fixture in Tokyo after recovering from COVID-19. Fiji then secured a 27-12 win over New Zealand to win the Olympic gold for a second consecutive time. The All Blacks Sevens team settled for silver with Argentina beating Great Britain to claim the bronze. Then on to the courts. So world number 1 Novak Djokovic will face Kai Nishikori in the quarterfinals of the men's singles tennis tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Serb defeating 34th ranked Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain 6-3, 6-1 as he continued his bid for a golden slam this year. Home favourite Nishikori of Japan booked his place in the quarters after seeing off Belarusian Ilya Ivashka 7-6, 6-love. Well, we'll touch on those headlines again in an hour or so. We're also going to delve a little deeper into the British and Irish Lions, Currie Cup and all things rugby and football as Samuel Eto'o steps into studio a little bit later. But right now, let's bring you up to speed with the weather.
Thank you so much, G. Now, if you've ever wondered if it's your imagination that Gauteng's jacarandas are flowering earlier and earlier each year, well, it's not. The jacaranda trees that transform the province into a purple vista every spring flower earlier because of climate change. Now, this has been scientifically documented in a paper by Jennifer Fitchett and Kestel Raik of the School of Geography, Archaeology and Environmental Studies at WITS, published in the journal Urban Forestry and Urban Greening. In the 1920s and 30s, jacaranda trees only started to bloom in mid-November, but gradually over decades, the date of bloom has shifted to October and then to the early weeks of September. This phenomena is closely linked to changes in climate, the timing and also the amount of rainfall, occurrence of frost, humidity and sunshine hours. Pretoria is colloquially called the Jacaranda City and has some 33,700 jacarandas. Today, as you can see, we are all buzzing with excitement as we have the British and Irish Lions Cup in studio with us. So what better way to lead up to those interviews than finding out a little more about the countries that some of the players hail from. The British and Irish Lions are a rugby union team selected from players eligible for the national teams of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, sometimes known as the home nations. So for your first international city, we head to Cardiff, the capital city of Wales. It was officially recognized as the capital of Wales in 1955. Cardiff is the most important administrative, shopping and also cultural centre in the country, as well as the headquarters for many national organisations and government departments. There's no lack of interesting things to do in the city, whether it be touring the numerous castles that remain in the area, taking a peaceful walk through Cardiff Bay, or doing some shopping in the shopping arcades, some dating as far back as 1858. Now, if none of these is your vibe, perhaps a tour of the Principality Stadium is more up your alley. Some highlights of the tour includes peeks into the national rugby team's change rooms and the tunnels that lead to the pitch. Today, however, the city will experience an overcast and rainy day with a mild maximum of 21 degrees Celsius. And then, of course, bringing it back to South Africa, we can't have a weather update without a few stunning sunrise photos. So starting us off this morning is Joey Peterson from Mhlanga, who is becoming quite a familiar name with her regular contributions. Now just take a look at the stunning burnt orange sunrise captured through the trees. So beautiful. Another one coming through from Lindy Aukamp Claassen from Queensberry Bay is giving us all the summer holiday feels that we need, with this photo taken of the sun rising over the ocean with those palm trees perfectly positioned in the foreground. Again, we encourage you, please do continue sharing your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love seeing how you start your day in your part of the country. But right now, let me get you kick-started for this day and have a first look at those temperatures. We start off with you, Polokwane. Do expect a low of 6 today, peaking at 20. If you find yourself in Umbombela, expect a range of 9 to 29. For you, Pretoria, it is 6:22, and then Johannesburg coming through with a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 18. Mahikeng ranges from 4 to 23, and then Klerksdorp for you, it is 1:21 today. Kimberley coming through with a low of 0 and a high of 20, and then Bloemfontein following shortly with -1 to a high of 20. Richards Bay, your temperatures range from 14 to 26. Pietermaritzburg 7:26, and then South Africa's playground Durban, your minimum is 14 with a maximum of 24. Mthatha for you, expect some sunshine today with a low of 4 and a high of 24, as well as East London with a range of 10 to 22. Craddock for you, it is 0:21. Gqeberha for you, it is 8:19, and then George ranges from 7 to 17 today. The mother city, Cape Town, can expect some rain today with a low of 8 and a high of 15. Worcester for you, rain as well, heading your way, ranging from 4 to 14. Sutherland, -3, peaking at 13. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a range of 2 to a high of 21. Well, that is where I leave you your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
All right, so Samuel Eto'o is coming.
Yeah, well, he is.
We're teaching a new word in Sepedi this morning. Yeah, I'm actually getting a little bit worried that the moment's going to be bigger than me, and when he's going to arrive, I'm just going to go.
But tell me, while we've got you here and in this mode of excitement, how would you say Samuel Eto'o in Sepedi?
I'm wondering what goat is in Sepedi.
Goat. Pudi.
Pudi.
There you go.
There we go, done. No, we love it, man. And we are having a little bit of fun translating, as we have done for the last kind of month and a half, because we know that it's going towards the most incredible effort. Generosity is at the heart of everything that Cadbury Dairy Milk does. They've proven it on the show, and they want to shine a light and help create more African language children's storybooks. However, the goal would not be possible without the help of you, awesome South Africans who are willing to translate and share words in your home language.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've had so much fun doing this. And so we're inviting every single one of you at home right now, this morning, to join us and play your part by translating and learning a brand new word. And our word this morning, guys, are you ready for it?
What is it?
Goose.
Goose?
Goose, yeah.
It's a cheeky word, goose, though,
Yeah,
eh?
I know what you think.
It's a cheeky word.
It is. And so what we're trying to achieve this morning is have the word goose translated in Sepedi.
Sepedi. Okay, so I'm
do
going to
you
say
know-
it, and then you can correct me if okay.
okay.
Goose in Sepedi is le ganse or le ganse.
It's Leganse.
Le ganse.
So the G's with the
Ganse. So the emphasis on the
On the G. 'Cause In
Leganse.
Sepedi, G would always be as opposed to
Okay.
G.
Okay,
Where would
brilliant.
they speak that language predominantly? Do you know?
Sepedi is most commonly spoken in the Limpopo province.
Well, I have my own
Limpopo
geography
province,
teacher
yeah.
here as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah, yeah.
much.
And they speak it in Hammanskraal as well.
Nice.
But listen,
Fantastic.
and what I like about a goose is it can be a positive character or it could be an angry, like very dangerous character because geese are hectic, man. they will
really
chase
are.
you down. People
Have you
use
heard about geese before?
They use them as guard dogs.
Those
okay.
Egyptian ones, man, those they come in
They're
pairs as
ferocious.
well. Yeah,
They're
they're
ferocious.
We love it. So it's a word that can inspire a story, and that's what we're all about here. So we want you to help ensure that all children can enjoy enchanting African language tales in their own language by translating just one word to help co-author a library of African language children's story books. Hashtag in our own words.
Yeah, so all you got to do is visit cadbury.co.za and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook or Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram to start sharing your words and creating those magical tales for our future.
Leganse. Leganse.
Yep, feel free to dance. That is one of the coolest lead intros that we've got for one of the coolest guys. It's Christmas in July. It's Mr. Grant Hines.
I know, it's cold. And
You look resplendent.
you know, I just thought, like, I like Christmas jerseys, and I'm not wearing them at 30 degrees in summer, so...
No, completely. If ever there was a time for it, do it now. Buddy, always great to connect with you. And this morning we are connecting with you about something incredibly important. For all of you at home, this morning we are touching on a subject that for me as a parent is vitally important. We are talking about safety on social media. And I'm using a deep, heavy tone because this is such a serious topic for me and something you've obviously explored from kind of multiple angles.
Yes. I mean, like, it's a very complex issue. I think most parents just go, no social media.
Yeah.
But we're living in a world where social media is going to be
It's part
important.
of our child's social interaction, and to cut that out is going to be doing them a disservice in some way because most of their friends are going to be operating in that.
But not even that. Like, I always try to remind parents, a lot of the CEOs that I've ever worked with were all people that were very tech savvy, that were afforded opportunities, allowed to explore when they were younger, but under the supervision of their parents.
Okay.
Which was very different to a lot of other parents, like, who would just deny any form of new learning to them.
Well, the bottom line is kids now are far more tech savvy. Just how tech savvy are children in this era?
I think more tech savvy than their parents.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that I think is very intimidating for a parent to have. But there are a couple of things that you can do to make sure that your child is safer online and that you are on top of things. The first thing is that there is an age restriction. A lot of people don't know this, but there's an age restriction for all social medias across the board that you have to be at least 13.
Okay, I agree with that, yeah.
And I think that's a great...
You could push it up a little bit higher, but I think trying to stop that damn wall from breaking would be impossible.
Well, here's the exciting thing. We think of social media the way we use it. So when a 13-year-old gets onto social media, especially on Instagram, their account is actually by default private. And I think that's really important. I think we need to instill privacy on social media more with our kids because most of the dangers are coming from people that are imposters or trying to get access to our children through social media. So making sure that their account is on private and that they remain skeptical and are taught to remain skeptical of people they don't know. So that is stranger danger happens virtually and in the real world.
Yeah, completely.
That's very important.
Often it'll start in the social media space. We've known this. What tips do you have for us as parents in terms of us crossing that digital divide and being more savvy ourselves within that social media space? And how do we govern that space with our kids? Do we do it together? Because surely they also want their privacy. They want to have their own social clique without us kind of weighing in and liking their pictures.
Yes, I think you instill principles that they must be taught and understand. The one easy thing is if you've got a computer in the house, make sure that computer's in a public area.
Okay.
So when your kids are using the computer, they are able to use it in a space where you are always aware of what's happening on that screen and that their time is managed. Because, you can't play after hours in the public area because, people are trying to sleep.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
Which is really important. The other thing is just know your network. Teach kids to know who's in their network. If they don't know anybody that is trying to add them or whatever, they just don't add them. Making sure that their network is locked to a private closed circle and all their kids in their class are on it, that's very cool.
That being said, now you've got younger and younger TikTok stars, and I use TikTok as an example because it's probably the most prevalent there, where they are becoming superstars on social media. Do you stand in the way of your child becoming successful in that space? How do you govern that when they're getting their validation from their likes, from their followers? That's a big part of their...
Okay, that's a whole other conversation. The validation thing is bad. Do not get validation from social media. It is a scourge, and you need to teach your children that. If your child is under 13, like as in they cannot use a social media legally, you should be managing their TikTok and making sure that you can help edit and show them how to edit and you can publish for them, but you have access to that key to that. But don't prevent kids from doing it. Allow them to explore and play around and get involved in tech, but be hands-on at that age. When kids become teenagers, it's harder to do it, but again, instilling those principles that they can use and apply helps.
You teach them until they are better than you, and then they teach you, but the bottom line is you keep that connection going, and it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
Got to stay safe out there. The internet is an area that, yes, has so many opportunities, the sharing of information, the social implications. It can be a wonderful tool to use, but it can also be dangerous, and it starts with you as the parents, making sure that you are tech savvy.
Guess what day it is? Yes, Samuel Eto'o is going to be in studio, but it's also Lipstick Day and it's being celebrated all over the world. Now, yes, masks might still be a thing and it's still mandatory, but that doesn't mean we can't experiment with a perfect pout. It's still a thing. Now, who better than our beauty and fashion editor, Miss Nox Mafu, who is here to tell us what is hot, what is new, and what might be returning as a popular lipstick trend. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
All about the lips today. We are perfecting it.
Exactly. I love lipstick. I feel like it's a pop of excitement and can really do a lot to boost a look and to also boost your mood.
This is why we need you here, because I'm the nude girl.
Okay.
Anything that I can do like that's just nude plain, just keep it on the low, it's fine. But you are here to help us elevate our looks.
Yes.
What are some of the hottest trends for the season?
Well, we're heading to summer, even though you're cold at the moment, and the three main things to remember is that the statement lip is extremely important, right? So when we're focusing on those three trends, it's to focus on the statement lip, which you can find in a lot of bold colors. So think about your oranges, which are kind of great for energizing, giving that boost. And I mean, color therapy is amazing. So if you find that those bold colors actually boost your mood, there's really some science to that. So the statement lip is the first one. And then do you remember, in Y2K, there was and in the early 90s, there was the two-tone lip.
Yeah, when you used to do like a big outline with a black pencil.
Exactly.
Is it coming back?
It's coming back and it's here for good. So definitely try yourself with the two-tone lip, and you can do it in different variants. You can make it quite obvious, but some people love it with a more subtlety. And of course, then for the more busy woman who doesn't have time to reapply all the time, we have what we call the lip stain, which is basically using your lipstick and kind of padding it on and blotting it onto the lip. But it really just kind of gives it a bit more color to your lip, but you don't need to worry about reapplying because it's not about that loud and bold color.
See, this is exactly why we have you here. Now, speaking about trends as well, what is some of your favorites for the season as well? What is your favorite lipstick?
So at the moment, obviously, W Beauty has an amazing range of lipsticks, and we've got a great set of hydro lips. And I mean, for instance, something that is great for adding a little bit of color, it's of course, vegan friendly, and we found them in already 30 colors. So this is amazing. But I love this antique rose one, which is incredible. It has a wonderful way of bringing out your undertones. So to kind of achieve all these trends, you can do so quite easily with these items.
Is this what you have on? Because
actually, I've used a combination. What I tend to do is use a combination. So what I've done is I've used a little bit of the antique rose, and then of course I just blotted that down with the, what is it? Burnished brown.
Ooh, burnished
Yeah. So, I mean, they've got beautiful names, but the joy of these lipsticks is that because they're so easy on the lip and they can stay and they've got a long-lasting ability, you can really use these trends in a number of ways. It's how you use the lipstick. So you've got 30 colors to choose from. You can play between the trends, whether it's statement or not, and you're going to win.
That makes me so overwhelmed because I'm like, 30, how do I choose? That's why I'm going to put it to you.
Okay.
Help me choose maybe something to just give me Mama a bit of a today.
Okay, so we've got some nice neutral colors and we're going to get you out of your comfort zone. So I am going to choose Lola for you.
Lola, and do you have another one? Because I feel like we should actually get the viewers involved in this one. So we got Lola over here.
Well, then let's give it a bit of a pink hue, so a pretty nude, but it's got a little bit, I'm going to take you home and then give you a bit of something to push you out of your comfort zone.
Okay, so we have Lola over here. We have pretty nude as well. This is what Nox has recommended for me, but I think that we should get you guys involved here. So you are going to help me choose the perfect pout for National Lipstick Day. Head on over to the Expresso social media pages and comment on the lipstick poll post. Is it Lola? Is it going to be the nudes? And then stay tuned because Nox will be back shortly with some lipstick application techniques to make sure that we are ready for this day.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. We are still live and we're bringing you something magic. Now, we're talking about a special human being. It's another African star, born in Zambia, raised in Botswana, of course. It's a singer, songwriter, an alternative artist, R&B soul kind of a feel. We're talking about the one and only Monga K in the building.
Monga K in the house.
How's it going?
Whoa, it's so good having you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be here. Excited to meet y'all.
Monga, it's really fantastic to have you here with us this morning. I can't help but notice your shoes
New
are
shoes.
giving me all
Jealous,
the lives
jealous,
that
jealous.
anyone can ask.
I just got them a month ago, so I haven't stopped wearing them.
I love them. I absolutely love them. What a vibe that is.
They're
But
very heavy.
very heavy. I imagine so. I imagine so. You make us feel so underdressed this morning.
Yeah, I came with the fashion, so you better catch up.
You better catch up. We better catch up. Well, let's catch up with you, because here's the thing: your music, number one, is absolutely incredible, and I've had so much fun just between yesterday and today, just catching up on all the latest jams that you put out. But there's a story behind it. Your mother has been credited as being such a huge influence in, I suppose, your creative sort of approach and just your life in general. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, my mom's a wonderful, incredible, powerful, phenomenal woman that, you know, helped me become the man I am today. Raised me and my sisters and just has taught me how to look at the world more liberated, look at the world and, you know, stand in my truth and to be as confident as I need to be. So I'm very grateful for her presence, and she definitely pushed me a lot growing up. Singing and also school, because I just graduated about a year ago from varsity, post-grad.
Congratulations.
And so I was like, cool, I did what you needed, lady, leave me alone.
Congratulations.
But yeah.
It all starts with mom,
free,
right?
yeah.
I absolutely love that. And I love the fact that you're not just a singer and a songwriter, amongst many other things, but I'm looking at your history, and it looks like you've learned this game from many angles, and you've also did some stunts and worked backstage in Gabron, I believe, which also added to some of the media and this industry that you've been working in. It's given you that advantage. But for you personally, what has that done for your career? I mean, being from the ground, working all the way up to this beautiful form that you are in now.
Thank you. It's so strange, because I started singing when I was 6, growing up in Botswana, and then when I was 17, I went through a really bad depressive episode, and I was like, I'm gonna quit. I quit for 2 years, and I was like, I'm gonna go study and be I studied criminology, so I was like, I'm gonna be an investigative journalist and never do music again. And then I moved to Joburg, and then I just started working at music festivals, and I volunteered, and just seeing behind the scenes of how a festival is brought to life was so inspiring, and working for the artists and, you know, getting them from parking to backstage accreditation to stay, I was like, I want this. And I worked my way back up. I found my love for music again. And I started, especially with the lockdown last year, I took the initiative to learn more about the industry, especially with regards to ownership, which is something that, you know, a lot of artists don't get to know when they walk in the studio, which is weird, because I guess everyone wants to take advantage of you. But last year I was like, listen, I'm going to learn about publishing, I'm going to learn about master rights, I'm going to learn about how I can be protected in this industry. And, you know, I didn't study law, but I did my best to Google everything about music law. So I really pride myself in, you know, taking the initiative to learn about how not to get messed around.
Well, here's the thing. When you make music as good as the music that you make, you want to protect that. You want to guard that with everything, right? 2017, you just rocked up. You sort of like did a big slide onto the scene with that EP, Free. And then you came up with your follow-up EP. What was that one called?
It was the Kennedy. The song name was
Solace.
Yes. Solace. I thought you were talking about the song, because we're going to get to that.
No.
So
We're
excited
coming
about
to
my
that.
Album,
I mean, what inspires your creative process to come up with, you know, such thematic music?
I think I just love writing. It's just something I've never been able to stop doing. And again, with regards to like the lockdown, I just had such a creative zeal that I was just writing nonstop. And so with Free, I was 18 when I wrote those songs, and that was right when I got back into music, and I just wanted to really give something vulnerable and, you know, just honest to who I was at the time. And then Wild Solace, I was 20 when I wrote those songs, and I was going through, I guess, trying to grow up and trying to understand what it was like. And then after that, I spent 2 years writing a project that I put out last year called A Note to Growth. And I guess the title gives it away. I was just really growing and like trying to understand my place in this industry and my place in this world as an artist. And also my very unfortunate relationships with love and finding love. And so I just wanted to write about all those experiences and find some sense of healing. And it really is a therapeutic process for me to just write my truth and sing it out.
Sounds like unfortunate experiences in love make for the best songs.
Yeah, true.
It's insane.
It's weird because I never thought, I always told myself when I was younger, I'm never gonna write love songs, I'm never gonna, and now I'm like a black Taylor Swift, and it's like...
With the shoes.
I don't mind it, you know, it's okay.
Well, it's so good chatting to you, of course. I wish we could just spend all day with you. You've got EPs and you've got this beautiful single, but we're going to be catching up with you later on the show, and we're getting spoiled. We've got 3 epic performances coming from you. So Mzansi, don't go anywhere. Stick around. The magic will continue. Moga K's in the building, and we've got some soulful R&B coming right at you.
I want those shoes. I want.
What size are you?
All the vibes here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show, but it's also all about the lips this morning. Now, there's a saying that says, lips without lipstick is like a cake without frosting. You can never go wrong with a bold, beautiful lip, especially in celebration of course, today, Lipstick Day. Now, Knox, earlier on, we asked the viewers to help me choose between Lola and Antique Rose.
Yes.
Okay, so we gave it out to you guys. Let's have a look at some of the results.
Okay.
So we have Jacqueline Keller that says, I love Antique Rose. It is a stunning color.
Love that.
Love
Good
that for
taste.
her.
Good taste.
And Tantla Elsie also says Antique Rose, giving us some pouts, giving us some lipsticks as well. Charlene de Klerk says, for the love of Lola. So 2 people coming through.
Okay, so it's a tough one now. Okay.
Shireen Hasty says, #1 for sure. Lola is giving me all the vibes. Here you go. And then Halima says, Jamie should wear Lola. It will give a beautiful pout just like Marilyn Monroe. Jamie's beautiful features and a lovely smile. And using Lola can indeed create that Marilyn Monroe effect. So it's a bit of both.
It's a bit of both. It's so tough. But it feels as though Lola got a lot of attention.
Lola got a lot of attention.
So Lola is the goal for us today, and I think you should definitely try it. So I think the most important thing in putting on a lipstick, right, is how you do it.
That's always the thing, because I'm usually like you speaking earlier, and I'm the blotcher. I just put it on quick, and just trying to get it done. Give us some top tips when it comes to applying lipstick.
So depending on the trend that you're going for. So if we were talking about that bold lip that I spoke about earlier, the best way to do it is to make sure that your base of your lip is sorted. So putting on lip scrub on your lips is important. And then to make your lipstick stay longer, the great thing to do is take the same color pencil and fill your lips with that first. And that creates quite a dry barrier for it. And then your lipstick will catch on much easier, right? And it'll stay for longer with a fuller, more like voluptuous look on your lips. So that's for that bold statement color that you want to do. If you want to do the two-tone that we spoke about earlier, it's about using your lip liner, which you would start with over here. So you would use something like this and you'd put it around the perimeter of your lips, and then you'd make sure once you've got that contour of your lip, you then go in with a lighter color or a gloss to give it that two-tone. And you can blot it a little bit with your lip depending on how you want that ombre to look. And then of course, if you want to use that light lip stain, it's how you mentioned it now, which I think you can try now, is just to add a little bit in the center of your lip and just kind of let it gloss through, because you don't want it to be too overpowering. It's just about adding a little bit of a highlight to the lip.
So I'm going to try that now with the Lola.
Yes.
We're going to go in here and we're going to do a little bit of a blotch as well.
Exactly. Blotch to the middle, exactly. And then let that... Exactly. And then you see. And it even goes within the line. I love it. I think we can even stop right there. Because right there, because we're just doing a bit of a stain, nothing too overpowering, but just to add that pop of color. And I mean, immediately it changes your face.
We are ready. We're ready. We're feeling so good.
But I actually have a challenge for you. So now that we've kind of changed and perked up with the help of the audience, I think we need to say goodbye to some things. Kiss goodbye to a few things. I've been scared of a few things. So let's write something that we want to say goodbye to on the mirrors.
Okay, you go first. What are you saying goodbye to?
So I want to say goodbye to fear.
Fear. I love that. We are kissing that all goodbye for 2021, and I'm saying goodbye to negativity. It's a long word. I might be using entire lipstick.
But we've got enough. There are 30 shades to choose from, sis. Don't worry about it.
Lola,
Beautiful.
that's that.
There we
on
go.
you.
And with the help of glam, I'm saying goodbye to fear. So I really love these because also just the ease of it is so nice. Yeah.
So what are you saying goodbye to for 2021? Okay, we're saying goodbye to fear, we're saying goodbye to negativity, but of course, you can also complete your look with a lip color from bold reds to subtle nudes. Get that shade that gives you just a confidence that you need. And of course, you can shop them all at Woolworths, and this is available in-store, online, or on the app, and give them a pout.
Woolworths brings you the beauty brands you love. From the icons you swear by to local favorites. From clean beauty to coveted fragrances. Your most loved beauty brands. Edited for you. Nourish your skin with Ingram's Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thanks for staying with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, this morning. Now, a personal loan may just seem like another means to get financial aid to help you maybe pay some bills, but the thing is, every loan has a very unique story to tell. And as part of the Nedbank Real Difference campaign, we've reached out to the people of Mzansi to hear their incredible stories. And I must tell you, we've been so overwhelmed by how everyone's lives have been changed for the better with the assistance of a loan. And one such story that really does stand out for us is one from Shaham Brown. And she joins us this morning to tell us more about her dream and how a loan has helped her. Shaham, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Shaham, you know, we read your story and we saw that you had spent 10 years in the retail industry, which is a long time, and then took out a personal loan so that you could go and study to become a teacher. What made you want to get into the teaching world after so long in retail?
Well, to make a long story short, after I left matriculated, I went into retail immediately. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life or in which career I wanted to head into. I got married at a young age, started a family. I was in retail from the beginning. But as time passed, I grew close to the the younger children in my family and around me. And when I started having children of my own, my eldest son was actually autistic, and I was unable to help him, and I felt helpless. I remember when he started at his special needs school, the teachers, they were awesome. He progressed very nicely. He was able to do things that I thought he would never be able to do. And I told myself that, you know what, I want to be that type of person that would instill something into a child, that would be able to help a child do things that they thought they could not do. This is something I want to do, because now I am empowering myself to empower a child, to do something for a child, especially at foundation phase, to start the academic career.
And now you are absolutely responsible for empowering so many children and really setting the foundation for their lives. You're a teacher. The background of what you were seeing here on the screen chatting to you is one of magic and total power. What grade do you teach now, and how is it going?
I am an assistant teacher at Harmony Primary in our area in Steenberg. So for me, it has been a blast. I learn things from these children every day. You think you need to learn them things, but at the end of the day, they're actually teaching you something. So it's a learning journey as I'm going on.
And it's such an inspiring one to hear as well. Well, Shaham, here's the thing. The Nedbank and Expresso team absolutely love your story, especially for using a loan towards furthering your studies to become a teacher. So what I've got to tell you this morning is that courtesy of Nedbank, we'd like to award you with a 1,000 Rand Avo voucher. Well done, Shaham.
Thank you.
Your story really is such an inspiring one, and I'm sure you've got, something to say to everybody out there that's watching who's looking for encouragement. How would you encourage other people to take a loan and to use a loan to help reach their dreams?
Well, the reason why I took so long to realize my dreams was because I thought I wasn't financially ready. You know, I was in a comfort zone, yes, at retail, but also I didn't earn that much to start something. And with the support of my family, my husband and my friends, they told me, you know what, go for it, irrespective of all the obstacles that you think you're going to face. And my husband said, you know what, I will support you with whatever decision you need to make, but you need to go for it, because I'm not getting younger, my children are growing up, and I can't get stuck into something that I'm not happy with. So I decided to take out the loan, and lo and behold, I paid for my registration fees. I paid a few months up front. I actually started a side hustle, which is still working for me at the moment. And I would encourage anybody that think that they don't have the financial stability to go for the loan. There are loans out there that is not that difficult to pay back. The interest rates is not that bad, and it was not that difficult to actually pay it off.
And it was the difference between sitting and wondering what your dream world and your dream life might look like and actually pursuing that dream. So well done on doing that. But congratulations once again, Shaham Brown, on winning that 1,000 Rand Avo voucher. Now, a personal loan used for good can make a real difference in your life as well. And Nedbank wants to help you achieve your needs responsibly and obviously affordably too. Now, to read more incredible stories, and there are many of them, of how loans have changed the lives of everyday South Africans like you and I, and how you can access one, go on to nedbank.co.za.
I'm Tokozani, and this is my story with money. I had accounts on top of accounts and loans at different places. I had to change things. My family were depending on me. So I went to Nedbank for help and applied for a personal loan to consolidate my accounts. To my relief, I got the loan with monthly repayments that I could actually afford. I managed to pay off my debt, and with the extra cash, also fixed our home. It gave me something that is important to me, and umndeni wami.
Listen, we are back in the kitchen, and usually when we think about home, our thoughts often lead to the hearty home-cooked meals that Mama or our gogo would cook, and the memories that was created around meal times. Now, whether it was something sweet or something savory, the bonding and just the memories to treasure came from creating something delicious together in the kitchen. Now is the time to create your own homemade happiness with Snowflake and our oxtail stuffed pull-apart steamed bread with a refreshing twist. G-Man is here, he's ready.
I'm going to make Samuel Eto'o some pull-apart bread. bread. That's what we're going to do this morning, okay?
It has to be good, eh? It has to be good.
Terrified that it's not going to be good. No, I'm really
it will
excited
be,
about this because it is relatively easy to make, and it's a good entry level if you've not made a huge amount of bread or kind of this. But thanks very much to Snowflake and the all-in-one here. It is made incredibly easy. So I'm going to jump into it and hopefully create something beautiful like that. But it is a pull-apart bread, so you want people to be able to get in there, grab a piece,
for
chunk
sure.
it out.
And create some memories, and I love that you're using the 5-in-1 savory mix because you can get to play around with it. Obviously, we're making this pull-apart bread, but if you wanted to make some fritters, some pizzas for Jack,
yeah,
Georgia, they love pizzas.
But I'm all about that dumpling vibe. In fact, Madiba, one of his favorite meals was oxtail stew with dumplings. So this is kind of an ode to Tata Madiba. So we've got the 1 kilogram bag. It also comes in 500 grams. So we're going to use about half of that for this mix. I'm keeping a little bit extra because I need to dust surfaces, dust my hands, as we've learned, as you learned
and Samuel also has a big appetite, so you want to make a lot.
So every time someone walks into the studio, I'm like, is he here? Is he here yet? It's just so exciting, man. It really is so exciting. All right, so we're going to mix, and of course, if it's a little bit too wet, you can just add more. But the key here is that it's tactile, and you want people to kind of get stuck in and enjoy it. Okay, that's looking good.
That's looking good already.
Okay, I think I'll leave it like that. Oh, now you want to, and I suppose the oxtail stew is great for this because I think I love the kind of sweet umami mix of an oxtail stew, but you could use anything that you really enjoy. You could even go with like a cheese and onion kind of vibe. It's up to you, but what is key, you want to make sure that your stew is cooked well ahead of time, or maybe it's a bit of leftover, but you don't want it to be too hot. Okay, so now we're going to put a little bit of flour.
This is the step that I usually forget, and then everything just sticks to the surface.
I know,
so
and I put it on my hands. And this, you will get a little bit dirty, but that's all good. So now I'm going to grab just, let me put a little bit more in here, actually. Oh, I'm so nervous.
A lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. Can you see?
I can't believe Sam was going to be eating my bread a little bit later this morning.
I've never seen you this nervous before, G. It's okay, don't worry. If it was good for Madiba, it will be good for Samuel as well.
And also, there was something bright and shiny in our green room. You know, we've got the British and Irish Lions. The trophy is here. Okay, that's looking a bit better. I'm going to take a little bit. That's my hand. Oh, it is very sticky still. Okay, there we go. Do you know what I haven't mixed in? Is our parsley.
You can actually do that now.
So it is actually very, very, very sticky. It's sticking to my hand. Okay,
I think it's because your hands are sweaty, because you're like just stressing, like.
Okay, then we're going to take just a tiny little bit of this.
And then, again, that is cool down oxtail, you said, right?
It needs to be cooled down. Otherwise, it's going to kind of wet the dough again, and we're going to just form that into a little ball, a little parcel, like so. Dun, 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 dun,
you can get the kids involved in this. Can you imagine Jack and Georgia just getting their fingers in that?
What my kitchen
Obviously, they're going to want to do the end part where they're just pulling it all apart, but getting them involved as well. So when are you going to add the parsley?
I actually omitted that. I'm going to put it in now. So, and while we put the butter on, that's going to help the bread separate more easily once we're pulling it apart.
Also, you want the butter to just like melt through once it bakes, and then.
And this is one of those that can be a bit more forgiving, and like I said, a great entry level where you can kind of learn how to make bread, learn how to make great dumplings. I love the idea of it being steamed as well. I love a steamed dumpling. Okay, that's looking good. If I can do this, anybody can do this.
It's really the convenience. It's the convenience of having everything all in one, in an easy mix, 5-in-1.
Absolutely. Amazing. Okay.
Okay, I see what that parsley does. It just
and it's
vibrant
just
color.
Freshen it out a little bit. There we go.
I was just thinking, looking at this, you could have caramelized onions in this. I would put some cheese and chives, what would you add to this?
I think a cheese and onion would work really, really well.
Definitely.
There we go. Then we're going to brush this with a little bit of butter. And basically, this is the vibe. You're going to do this kind of many times over until you've basically fooled
Full weight.
your baking dish.
Are we putting it close together? You said yes.
And you
right?
keep ramming it in. Then what we've got here is our bigger pot with water, not quite boiling, okay? So it's got a bit of a bubble, but you don't want it to be boiling to the point of bubbling over, so it splashes into the bread. You're going to pop it in like so. Net so. Okay.
En hoe lang gaat dit?
About 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Let it steam through. It must be nice and bouncy, tactile, but not sticky to the touch. You'll kind of know, and then basically go pull a piece of our
I just
bread.
want to pull it apart. I've always wanted to do this. Here we go.
And if you want to find this recipe and create, do it, man.
I
Just
don't
grab
like
it and pull it.
Wow, look at that. Just look at that, all that flavor inside of that.
Angels sing.
Expresso
There's something
showed up.
quite beautiful about the texture of a steamed bun or a steamed dumpling, or in this case, a steamed bread. Absolutely delicious. It's moist, it's got the textural elements, and of course, it is bucket loads of flavor. And you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. So if you want to create your own homemade happiness and stand a chance of winning some great prizes with Snowflake, then listen up. Simply purchase a Snowflake product to bake your favorite creation with, and there are endless possibilities. Remember to keep that till slip as proof of your purchase, then visit Snowflake's Facebook page, post a pic of your beautiful creation with the Snowflake product that you used in it, and the comments of the competition post, and use the hashtag Snowflake Homemade. Simple as that. And you could be the lucky winner of a 2,500 Rand cash prize, or a voucher valued at 2,500 Rand as well. But you can find all the terms and conditions and this recipe on expressoshow.com.
I'm going to take a piece for Samuel,
Do it,
okay?
do it.
Later. Just put it on here, so long.
rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyigakara. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, lucky, beautiful souls. We're live right here, and we still got so much more magic coming at you. If you missed the making of bread, then shame on you, but I hope it's filled your belly, and we still got Manga K to perform something special. But before we get into that, let's find out what's happening in the news with Jamie Lee Dumberg.
Thank you so much, Raul. 2 minutes after 7 o'clock, time to have another look at what's happening in and around the world. Now, starting off with your national news, the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria has confirmed that America has donated 5.7 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to South Africa. The embassy says it's the largest single consignment ever from the U.S. since the country began sending vaccine to other countries. The U.S. government had earlier announced that it would ship some 10 million doses of vaccine to South Africa and Nigeria today. The White House said it was essential that countries had equal access to safe and effective vaccines. And then economists and business experts have welcomed the National Treasury's announcement to set aside 36.1 billion rand for the social emergency relief measures to help alleviate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and damage suffered during the recent unrest. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni said at a news conference that the destructive actions had caused great damage to the country's economy. The CEO of Business Unity South Africa, Casco Vadia, says not only will the relief packages be good for businesses, but also for workers affected by the unrest. And then looking to news further abroad, China is expanding its capacity to store and launch nuclear missiles, U.S. scientists say. Satellite images from Xinjiang province in the west of the country suggest it's building a nuclear missile silo field. Now, the second one being built in the last 2 months. The site can accommodate some 110 silos, which are underground facilities used for storing and launching of missiles. Earlier, it was reported 120 silos were spotted on a site in a desert area in Yemen. The U.S. has also expressed concern about the build-up. And then former U.S. President Barack Obama has joined NBA Africa as a strategic partner, advancing social responsibility efforts across the continent. Obama will support programs and partnerships that provide greater gender equality and economic inclusion. NBA Africa conducts league business throughout Africa, expanding the NBA's market awareness and engagement with fans across the continent while growing the game. The NBA has a decades-long history in Africa and opened an Africa headquarters in Johannesburg in 2010. The Basketball Africa League was launched in May. And then finally, some sad news from the world of entertainment. One of the country's foremost jazz pianist, Andre Peterson, has succumbed to COVID-19. He was 43, and at the time of his death, he was jazz coordinator in the Department of Music at Wits University, where he previously had studied for a bachelor's degree in music with focus on classic piano. He also obtained a master's degree in jazz from the Lucas Schools of Arts in Belgium. As a student, he was awarded several bursaries, including an Oppenheimer bursary. Peterson, who was widely known as an exceptionally humble and also caring person, grew up in Surrey Estate in Cape Town. His father was an organist and a choir master in the Moravian Church, and his mother a music teacher. Peterson performed at jazz festivals in the USA, France, Italy, Japan, Sweden, the Netherlands and Norway, as well as the Cape Town International Jazz Festival and the National Arts Festival in Makanda. He is survived by his wife and daughter, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family during this time. On that sad note, that is where I leave your 7 o'clock news headlines. I'll be back on the top of the hour. Here is G with another look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Obviously, a firm focus on Tokyo right now. Let's start with the Olympics. South Africa's Tatiana Schoenmaker and Kayleen Corbett are through to the women's 200-meter breaststroke final. That was after finishing first in their respective semis earlier this morning. So yesterday, Schoenmaker, she may already got that silver medal in Tokyo and set a new Olympic record in her heat. She'll go into tomorrow's final with the best time of 2 minutes and 19.33 seconds from the semis. And then Corbett heads into the final as fourth fastest after finishing in a time of 2 minutes, 22.08 seconds. South Africa's Michael Sates finished 8th in the semi-final of the men's 200-meter individual medley. Then Mexico's under-23 side have qualified for the knockout stages of the men's football tournament at the Olympics after beating South Africa 3-0 yesterday. South Africa finished at the bottom of Group E despite putting in some spirited performances, but undoubtedly 3 back-to-back losses saw us there. Mexico made it 2-0 at the break thanks to goals by Alexis Vega and Louis Romo. South African captain Tertius Malepe was handed a red card for a dangerous foul in the 55th minute. Then their opponents sealed that victory with a third goal on the hour mark by Henry Martin. So Mexico will now face South Korea in the quarters, and that's on Saturday. Then, after winning their matches against Australia and the USA on the final day of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Olympic Games, the Springbok Sevens side have finished in 5th place. Blitzboks coach Neil Powell joined his team for their final fixture in Tokyo after recovering from COVID-19. Fiji then went on to secure a 27-12 win over old foes New Zealand to win Olympic gold for now a second consecutive time. The All Blacks Sevens team settled for silver, with Argentina, of course, beat the Blitzboks, beating Great Britain to claim the bronze. And then finally onto the court. World number 1 Novak Djokovic will face Kai Nishikori in the quarterfinals of the men's singles tennis tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Serb defeated 34th ranked Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain 6-3, 6-1 as he continued his bid for a golden slam this year. Home favourite Nishikori of Japan booked his place in the quarters after seeing off Belarusian Ilya Ivashka 7-6, 6-love. But it looks like a shiny piece of silverware has just entered into our studio. If you want to take a look at the British and Irish Lions trophy, it is here. We're going to be delving into all of the rugby permutations in just a moment, but right now let's see what the weather has in store.
All of the excitement here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now, here's a question for you at home. Do you care to catch a falling star? Well, the Southern Delta Aquarids and the Perseids meteor shower, they're here, and they're presently visible without a telescope or binoculars and will last until mid-August, peaking until Saturday. Now, the same applies for the Alpha Capricornids around the same time. But what is a meteoroid without a meteorite? A meteoroid, and these are tough words, a space rock that enters Earth's atmosphere, and when it lights up in Earth's atmosphere, it's a meteor. And now when the meteoroids enter our atmosphere simultaneously, it's a meteor shower. And when a meteoroid survives a trip through the atmosphere and hits the ground, it's called a meteorite. With the curfew in mind, you'll have to meteor watch from your backyard, and this weekend, if you are lucky, you may just catch a falling star. Good luck. Now, we've taken our inspiration for International City features from our sporting stars featuring on the show today. So in honor of having soccer star and legend Samuel Eto'o in studio today with us this morning, we're highlighting the city he was born in, Cameroon. Douala is the largest city in Cameroon and its economic capital, and it is the commercial and economic capital of Cameroon, and as a result, it handles most of the country's major exports such as oil, cocoa, as well as coffee, timber, metals, and fruits. Now, there are numerous markets around the city to explore, museums as well to visit, as well as various monuments and historical buildings. Any viewers that are based in or visiting the city of Douala can expect times of clouds and sun reaching a warm maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Now, back to our South African soil, we showcase some more beautiful sunrise photos that we have received from you. Lizelle Witboy from Ocean View shared this moody and cloudy photo of the sun breaking through the heavy cloud cover in the distance. And then we got one from MV Dlamini from Skukuza, who shared this great shot overlooking a river flowing through the game reserve, showing off those rays of sun popping through the trees. We love them. Please do continue sharing your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. That's Expresso Morning Show SABC3. We love seeing how you start your day in your beautiful part of the country. And now we take a look at those temperatures, starting off with Polokwane today. Your low Polokwane is 6, reaching a high of 20, with Mbombela starting off at 9, peaking at 29. If you're out in Pretoria, the capital city today, sunny times. 6 is your low, reaching a high of 22, with Josie Maboneng, Johannesburg at 5 and 18. Mahikeng 4 and 23, with Klerksdorp starting off at 1, peaking at 21. If you're out in Kimberley today, 0, that's where you start off. You'll peak at 20 degrees, with Bloemfontein starting off at -1 and reaching a high of 20. Sunny times out in Richards Bay, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 26, with Pietermaritzburg at 7 and 26. The warmest place to be, Durban 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 24, with sun out in Mthatha 4 and 24. East London 10, that's your low, reaching highs of 22, with Craddock at 0, peaking at 21. If you're out in Gqeberha, expect 6% chance of rain today, 8, peaking at 19, with George at 7 and 17. The mother city, Cape Town 8, peaking at 15, with Worcester rainy times 4 and 14. Sutherland -3, that's your low, reaching a high of 13. And if you're out in Uppington, last certainly not least, your low today today is 2. You will peak at 21 degrees today. And that's where we leave it in terms of the temperatures. The next one in just over an hour. Get those sunrise pictures through to us on our Facebook page.
Thank you so much, Tubbs. Now, I've just found the magic dial and we're about to turn that sucker up. And we're being joined this morning by soulful singer and songwriter. It's Monga K. And we've got 3 stirring performances lined up for you this morning. But this one is going to be kicking off the first of the lot. Now, it's the 2021 single, Where Do I Go? Stage is yours.
So lonely all the time. It ain't a sad cry for help, but I'm a mess 'cause I won't touch. Ain't it a shame? Love don't need me when I need it. It's rough. Where do I go? Where do I go when I'm all alone? I can't explain how it feels. I just crave something real. So where do I go when I'm all alone? Said I didn't miss you, I really do, and I'm so confused, 'cause I don't need to. You stared at my imperfections. All I seem to be is a lesson of who not to love, who not to trust, who not to care about. Where do I go? Where do I go when I'm all alone? I can't explain how it feels. I just crave something real. So where do I go when I'm all alone? I'm on my own, it seems, without your toxic schemes that fill me with so much hate. Explain how it feels. I just crave something real. Where do I go when I'm all alone? Oh, where do I go? Where do I go when I'm all alone? I can't explain how it feels. I just crave something real.
K is here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. He still has one performance coming your way. And I can confirm that Samuel Eto'o is in the building, everybody. Get excited. More magic coming your way. We'll see you after this.
Welcome back. You're live with your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we delve into a little rugger right now. Of course, the Springboks, they need the win in the second test against the British and Irish Lions when they meet at Cape Town Stadium again this coming Saturday. The Lions, of course, leading the series 1-0 after their 22-17 victory over South Africa last weekend. With the British and Irish Lions trophy in studio with us this morning, we thought we'd catch up with a legend, a former Springbok, to get his thoughts on what we can expect in the thriller on Saturday. Zane Kirchner earned 31 test caps and represented the Boks at the 2015 World Cup. He's won 2 Super Rugby titles and 1 Currie Cup with the Bulls. He must be pretty pleased with how they're going this season. And he joins us now via video call. Zane, a very good morning. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning, South Africa.
Good morning, South Buddy, I always feel in these trying times that I've got to do a check-in first. So I've got to ask, how are you during this crazy time, not only in South Africa, but across the globe? How have you been faring, man?
Oh, man, I think, as everyone would, we're all going through a couple of difficult times. Under circumstances, we try to manage as best as we can. For me personally, it was mostly indoors. Luckily, schools was closed. Quite active last year within the community. Personally been affected with COVID, not too bad. So I had my time off for about, what was that, 10, 15 days. Wow. But I try to stay under the radar as much as I can.
Yeah, man, good to see you happy and healthy, and thank you so much for the work that you have been doing. I think so many players took the opportunity to really dig in within their communities and give something back. Lest we forget, and we've got a beautiful, shiny piece of silverware in studio just to reinforce it. The Boks will be taking on the British and Irish Lions in the second test this weekend. I've got to ask about the first performance, considering that that was our first run out in a test match since the Rugby World Cup final in 2019. What did you make of the lads' performance?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, we could have seen it was a 40-minute performance from both sides. We had our plan in the first half. I mean, rugby is that thing. Game fitness is very different. I think the guys are well motivated. That's something that we don't lack. And I think it's trying to put that 80-minute performance together now, trying to manage that second half a bit better. We can get ascendancy again, as we did to the end of the first half. And I think we can go well again.
We've got the juggernaut to face in the form of a British and Irish Lions team that has certainly been improving. They look great throughout the prelim matches, albeit with that loss against South Africa A, but they seem to find a different gear in that second half and tactically might have had an edge there. What are you expecting from the team that Warren Gatland's put together for the second test?
No, I think nothing different at the moment. I think for them it's going to be important how they're going to brace that first 20 minutes. From a technical perspective of the second half, I think it's something that's easy to be able to be fixed from our guys during the week. I mean, it comes down to certain individuals executing, especially under those high balls. I think that was a big threat. They turn our game on ourselves. So I think we're going to come out firing, as Far said during the week. A Springbok with the back against the wall. Tough people to deal with it eventually.
Yeah, and taking into account how little rugby they've played at that level for so long, there certainly weren't that many signs of rust. Like you say, just small adjustments and maybe those individual battles need to be won. A lot was said about the inclusion of Alun Jones, who of course dislocated his shoulder in their warm-up match against Japan. Probably cut that rehabilitation down short to make it onto the tour. What did you think of his performance and how important is, I mean, he's the most capped test player of all time. Certainly within the British and Irish Lions fold, the most capped player. I think he's now running on for his 11th outing there. How important is it to have those talismans on the field for the British and Irish Lions? Because there is so much more at stake there for them. There is a lot of pride in a fixture like this.
Yeah, I think spending a fair bit of time in Europe, and I could see the respect and the role he plays with every team that he's involved with. And I think, I mean, having a dislocated shoulder myself, previous in my career, for what he got right, and that turnaround time with what was I think about 18 or 21 days. I mean, that is almost inhuman. But it shows what he brings to the environment, the type of respect. And I mean, pretty much the performance he's putting together in terms from a leadership perspective, I think it's holding together for them. I think as far as went, without having any spectators, been pretty neutral. But it's quite exciting to see, and knowing that some of the pubs and stuff has been open for the weekend. So I think we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of South African spirit, and hopefully the boys can catch on to that, and that will grant them a bit more extra motivation.
Yep, there's going to be a vibe in South Africa, and of course aided by the fact that we've got this beautiful piece of silverware and two beautiful bodyguards there as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for bringing this gorgeous piece of silverware into studio this morning. Reinforces just how important, what is at stake here. It's not every year that a tour like this rolls around, and of course we have an opportunity to see it live here in South Africa. Zane, stick around. We're going to talk a little bit of Curry Cup in just a moment. I'm sure you're really pleased with how the Bulls have been performing this year. We're going to talk more rugger in just a moment. Stick around. Right now, though, let's get a little active.
Yeah, we're getting active, we're doing the things, and we're joined by a superstar. Now, we're focusing obviously on sporting legends this morning, and it's time we get our fitness levels in tip-top shape too. Now, joining us in studio, it's a familiar face. His abs might be familiar too, if you've been sticking to the show. Now, it's our fitness and life coach, Angelo Antoine, in the building. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm doing good. It's lovely to be here today again.
It was so good catching up on Monday. You spoiled us. You spoiled Jamie Lee Donberg, and I know she's watching somewhere with those abs. And we thought, look, in honor of obviously the longest date, season 2, the fact that you're a part of it as well, the fact that your abs are a part of it, and it's like talking the town. We're talking about love, so why not pair the two and do a perfect ab workout, man? So you've got something special planned for us, right?
Definitely. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus a little bit on core as well, and in for you guys as well, if you're at home, just to go grab the towel out or get used to the towel as well. Some easy home exercises, but we will be using this. So what we're going to do is we will be starting with some nice standing crunches. You may put that down for now, just to get the blood flowing and heart rate up. So we're going to stand on one spot, here, hands next to the head, and we're going to crunch in, knee to elbow, all the way out. So what we're going to go is we're going to go on a nice flow and all the way stretch out and crunch in. And that's brilliant. So you're going to do that for 30 seconds ongoing.
I like this because it's not only just my abs I'm feeling, but I'm also feeling like a bit of the hip flexors.
Love it. And that is the summer's almost here, guys, and we're going to tone it up as well. So let's go down to the floor. We're going to do some nice mountain climbers, okay? Hands over the shoulders, okay? And knees not too far from the ground. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kick in all the way. You're going to up the pace as soon as you get used to it, and that you will do for 30 seconds.
I'm already feeling a bit of stimulation.
Brilliant.
Is that good? Is that fine?
That's perfect. I love it. I love it.
I've got to ask you though, these seem quite convenient exercises because at the moment, not using any equipment, and this is something you could probably do, and I'm sure you've done this on the show. I saw the first episode being aired this week, so sneaking in some good ab workouts.
I'm one of the strongest contestants when it comes to the obstacles as well, and this is why.
Clearly we can see why.
So we're going to move to our towels now, okay?
Okay, awesome.
I love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the towels nicely on the floor. So guys, you can use it if you want to clean your floor. Or make sure you...
After you work out, maybe if you're stealing mom's dishcloth or something, you're going to have to do the dishes afterwards, but you earned it.
Or use a dirty one, guys. Okay, I hope it can glide here. We are perfect here as well.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a peak crunch in. So all the way up, we're going to push it all the way down.
And I've got to make it look as easy as you?
Let's go together. 3, 2, 1. All the way up and down. Perfect. Let's go. All the way up and then down. And we're going to do that for 30 seconds as well.
Man, this is a proper advanced workout. I'm not going to lie. This is something that's...
Love it.
If you're wanting these Angelo abs, then this is the one you want to capitalize on.
And he's going all the way up as well, guys, and he's dropping the glutes low, so he's working on his core as well. So that is perfect. So what we're going to do is now... We're going to do some...
my breath first here. Cheapest.
We're still good. Hopefully we are still good. I believe we're still good. Okay, guys, so you're going to do it wider or use 2 towels when it comes to that. So we're going to do mountain climbers on the floor as well. So it's going to be 1, 2, and open the legs just to keep the core there as well.
Okay.
So 1, 2,
and then open it up.
Open the legs. Perfect. And we go 1, 2, open the legs just to make that core strong as well. It'll help me a lot on the show.
And
it
also,
will
I've
help
just
you
noticed
guys.
now, if I was doing this exercise and I put some, like floor cleaner underneath this, I'd be
Perfect.
cleaning
That's
the floor at the
what
same
I was
time, right?
saying.
There we go.
Love it.
Efficiency at the same time. And also the fact that this is not really gym equipment, but it is. It's something you can find in your home.
And your home,
No
exactly.
excuse not to be able to work out. And I'm out of breath. I'm supposed to be the fit one on the show. I'm out of breath working. So this is more than enough.
I love it. As there's one, you don't have to go get the cleaner as well, guys. Okay, let's go down. So we're gonna work a little bit on the side obliques as well.
Side obliques, right?
Yeah.
So that's like those Levi line muscles.
I love it, and that made me on the show as well once again.
That's gonna get you all the way to the end. That's gonna find you on the show for sure.
Love it, love it, love it.
Longest date season 2 contestant Angela over here, and clearly you can see why we're gonna be finding love in this season.
Okay, guys. So, love it, love it. So we're gonna go all the way up, keep it nice and steady.
Right.
If that's a bit too difficult, go to a modified version. You go all the way down and you push yourself up.
So your knee will be there instead. All right. I'm gonna take up your challenge because I want to look as good as you, man.
Okay,
So let's do
so then I will stick with the modified version to demonstrate.
All
You can go for the extreme one. Let's go. And we're gonna keep the hand next to the head, behind the head, and crunch all the way in.
And we're crunching.
Knee to elbow, all the way.
All right.
And we're crunching all the way in.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't mind me and my shakes. That is normal. That means that we are human beings, and these things are difficult.
Perfect. And then engage that core again. Once again, guys, we are using our core as well. That's for 30 seconds.
I must say, just on top of my core working, my glute med is also on fire.
That's a full stress, and that's what we love, huh?
I do
That's what we love.
I do love it. Yes.
So also we're gonna touch the knees now as well. And then what's so brilliant, we are gonna stress our hamstrings with this as well and a little bit in the calves. And remember guys, 10 seconds break in between. So 30 seconds exercise, 10 seconds break.
All right.
Okay. We go all the way down, open the legs a little bit. So it's gonna be hand to toe.
Okay, this is
all the way. And you feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings as well.
A good little flossing exercise for that posterior chain over there. This
awesome,
is
I
brilliant
love
quality.
it.
And again, working out with not only the core, but I'm feeling my shoulders now coming into play as well, just from that support and stabilization. And man,
I love it, man. It's more compound as well, so you get the best of both of them, I say that way.
You are the best of both. I'm not gonna lie, man. You got love, you got the love, you got it all. But I've got a judge that needs to really determine whether this is true. Jamie Lee Domberg's the one that's gonna find out if those abs are the proof in the pudding. Jamie Lee Domberg, where is she even? I don't know. She's probably spying or getting the phone out. But
I'm
for
watching
Jamie's
right now.
leisure,
We need to see a little something, okay? We need to see a little something. Can you show us what you guys are working so hard with?
Yes, people. There you go. The longest date season 2 coming.
Thank you, everybody.
For that awesome workout. We'll be looking forward to seeing you and that six-pack on the longest date season 2.
Love it. Let's do it. See you.
Nourish your skin with Ingrams for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingrams, your skin, your brave. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are still live with Expresso as we continue to talk sports and, of course, honing in on a little rugby at the moment. And Zane Kirchner now joins us again this morning. We've chatted a little bit about the British and Irish Lions tour, a must-win fixture for the Springboks after losing the first encounter. That second match, in fact, all matches playing out at Cape Town Stadium. But we're going to look at the flip side of the rugby coin at the moment. We've been treated to a brilliant domestic season. And Zane, as a Currie Cup winner, as someone who's played over 100 times for the Bulls and won a couple of Super Rugby trophies along the way, you must be incredibly happy with how the Bulls have been playing and what Jake is doing in that camp.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident. If you guys throw Jake's name into anything, it shows his influence and in organizations and environments that he gets his hands on. And I think he's pretty simplified it, and he found a way out to win. So I think he's got it, and he's quite good with how he gets everybody to buy into his bigger picture. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, definitely a player's coach, and clearly something is clicking. You saw that against South Africa, and they carried that performance forward last weekend. Up against Western Province, what do you make of that prospect? Province a little bit hot and cold at the moment, but they showed a lot of promise, certainly attacking prowess in their last outing.
Yeah, I think North-South Derby is always something to get excited with. Remember my first days when I was over at the Bulls. That was one of the biggest fixtures on the during the year. So I think this is not going to be anything short of that. It's quite exciting to see how things will evolve, especially back in Cape Town, coming back to sea level.
Buddy, I've got to ask you this. Obviously, there's been a huge amount of focus on what it means to don both the British and Irish Lions colours, but also the green and gold for something as prestigious as a tournament like this. But I'm going to ask you just about what it feels like to be a Bok. How did it feel to you putting on that green and gold? Can you remember? Do you still relive those moments?
Yeah, I think those moments are unreal. I think it's everything that you ever dream about. Every bit of hard work that you've ever put in, and then a lot of hope and a lot of luck. Then to see everything come together. And in my case, I was lucky enough to face the British and Irish Lions on their third test. Didn't go too well for us, but I think in that regard, it's everything that you want to play for. You're representing your country. You're representing everything this country stands for, and you want to make that badge proud. And I think, as you can see at the moment, once you put in the green and gold, some of the guys, you can see they feel a bit immortal.
And we need that this Saturday. There is something special about, they talk about the All Blacks winning a World Cup, obviously, and the British and the Irish Lions. Having had first-hand experience here and knowing how important it is, especially now when we need some positivity, please, not just in the world of sport, but I think just globally, how important is it for South Africans to get behind the Boks this weekend? What does it mean to those Springboks playing this Saturday?
Yeah, I think being crowned world champions, that's something to defend. And then coming back home ground, even bigger. Table's been set 12 years ago, 2009. And I think it's something that they can just get a lot of energy, a lot of confidence from. And I think it's quite exciting where we are now. 2 to go. This one this weekend, definitely non-negotiable. As I said earlier, having the opportunity that the country is a bit slack on the level, hopefully they can feel that spirit and that vibe throughout the streets, and that will give them an extra bit of motivation.
Hashtag stronger together. Buddy, I'm going to ask you one last un-rugby related question, or maybe it could be for you, but we are celebrating African stars, sporting heroes this morning. If you could sit down and have lunch with any African sporting star throughout history, who would that be? He's the strong, silent type. I think it blew him away. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I could, I would sit down. Oh, there we go, Zane. I don't know if you got that last question. So if you could sit down with any South African or African sports star throughout history, who would that be?
Wow, difficult. Very difficult choice. No, I'll have to pass on that. Very difficult choice.
Bunny, well, I might have
Those
a
comes to name.
suggestion for you this morning. I've got to say thank you so much to you. Thank you for giving us that inside window into what promises to be a mouth-watering and, as you said, a non-negotiable, a must-win fixture for the Boks this weekend. Zane, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, I'll tell you, if I had an opportunity to sit down with one African superstar, it would be one man. It would be Samuel Eto'o. And it just so happens that that one man is in studio. Stick around. We're going to be chatting to him in just a moment.
And now, time for us to get some kitchen inspiration. We're keeping it all local this morning, including the recipes as well. And standing right next to me is a man you definitely want to be friends with. He'll take you places. We're so happy to have you here, and I'll tell you why at home. When Chef Luyanda Mafanya traveled to Limpopo for the Olive Pride Chef's Tour, she captured the essence of Limpopo on a plate in the most beautiful way with her shisa nyama, spicy shisa nyama at that. Now we're tantalizing the taste buds this morning by sharing her recipe with you, and Chef Funi Lufuno shows us how it's done. Oh, Chef, I see you've got all the ingredients laid out, and you are the guy to speak to when it comes to anything that's got to do with the shisa nyama. So you've got to lay it all out for us.
We're just going to have our chicken. You know, so you can do this in a grill or in a fire.
Okay.
Just have your... But what you need to remember, when you're marinating your chicken, you just add all your spices in the chili, because we want that kick.
We want the spice to really come
through,
right?
We've got the ginger, we've got the cumin.
Cumin going in there.
And then also what you can do, you can use dried herbs. I'm using the oregano here.
I love that.
Cumin, little bit of chicken spice going in there. And then, of course, garlic.
Garlic as well. What I really like about this version of the spicy shisa nyama that you're making is that you really are incorporating a whole range of spices and herbs. And very often, we make the mistake of thinking that a shisa nyama or a braai is just one spice and it's good to go. But you want to switch it up every now and again, right? Ooh. And then in goes our clover olive pride.
Just drizzle in there.
Why is it so important to do that?
Okay, you just want to penetrate what I'm doing now here. I'm wanting the spices to go through in there. That's why I first add the spice, and I'm adding the olive oil. From there, you're just going to, if you've got time, you can keep it at home. In the fridge, marinate it overnight. But for now, just going to put it in there.
Showing that chicken all the love. And of course, clover olive pride blend is highly recommended for hot applications such as frying. So if you're frying, if you're grilling, or if you're stewing and baking, that's the go-to. It does have a high smoke point, but it maintains an olive flavor, which is really what you want. And clover olive pride is endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. That's all the good news you want to be hearing, especially if you're going to be eating that. A fresh salad, always a good idea to go with that as well.
Yeah. You can make a
I'm already just thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead of what we should be doing. Okay, so over here, I've got some. So I'm making salsa.
Yes.
Which is between you and I, what you're doing there with the chicken, and then what I'm doing the salsa. I'm obviously doing the difficult job here, right? This is a tough, the tough task, obviously. You know, I've got some popo there. Okay, that's an interesting salsa with popo, hey?
Yes, but remember you can use pineapple if you have pineapple.
Okay.
And then you can just grill your pineapple on the grill, and then it gives a nice flavor. But now for today, we're just gonna use the popo. You know, also in popo, we've got very nice popos in there.
Of course. Popo dizwilo zwanu.
Dizwilo zwanu.
And then I've got some evo going in there. You're going to make this nice and rich, right, and creamy. So you want your salsa to really be packing with all of that. This is coriander.
Oh, yes.
In there, I'm getting some coriander in there, some lime because you want the zest, right? Zest is important.
That zestiness on it.
Yeah. And some salt and pepper. And really, honestly, this has been a difficult job.
It's not a difficult job. I mean, really not.
Not at all. Certainly not at all. But what we've done is made it really easy for you at home. If you want to get your hands on this recipe, go onto our website. It's expressoshow.com. On the website, we've got all of these ingredients as well as the steps involved in making this salsa, number one, but also what to do in terms of switching up your recipe for a nice braai. You've got some corn there. This is, I mean, it's a treat.
Oh, yes.
So the corn's going in, getting grilled at the same time as with our chicken there. Great.
You can
Tips on corn?
Oh, you know, you can do so many things with corn because I grew up in Vietnam. You know.
Yeah.
Really, we have eaten corn all the time.
Yeah.
But this one is just a fancy one where you just take the pride, spread it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like that, and then you're gonna just give it that little bit of a
massage it. Give it the love alongside your chicken. What is the one thing people get wrong when it comes to grilling their chicken? What is the most commonly made mistake?
People, you know what they normally do? They don't tend to turn their chicken around. You need to keep turning it around so that it must not burn. Can you see? We want
you can't forget. Basically,
you need to
when
be
you're
on the
braai,
braai. You always need to be on the braai, unless if you want to put it in the oven, which is fine. You can just do the same. Put it in the oven, let it cook in the oven.
I love
Perfect. Yeah.
How's
the salsa going?
That. Well, the salsa is looking so good. And when it's all done, that's what it all looks like. You got your chicken there, you got your corn over there, you got the salsa also over there. It's beautiful. That's one perfect way to keep it nice and local, but also switch up the flavors of your braai. If you want this recipe, once again, go onto our website. It's expressoshow.com. Chef Funi Nda. Thank you very much. I'm going to try that right now. I'm going to try that right now.
Begin. And?
Oh, yes. I love it. Thank you.
Let's try the corn.
Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yes, there's been a lot of heavy breathing this morning, a lot of breath. I've been looking at the door every 5 seconds. Is he here? Is he here yet?
Just breathe.
The moment has arrived. He is considered undoubtedly one of the best strikers ever to have played the game, regarded as one of the greatest football players of all time, understandably. Samuel Eto'o is a retired Cameroonian soccer star who has played for the likes of Barcelona, for Chelsea, for Inter Milan over the years. He has probably the most impressive CV in football history, and the African football legend finds himself in the mother city for an exciting new project, and he is here to tell us all about it. Also joining him is on the couch, we've got CEO for Fives Football, Adam Fine, who is smiling as much as I am right now, and Alison has stepped in to be translator, so we thank you so much. I love you, man. I love you guys. I don't know why, of all of the million things that I wanted to say to you the first time I got to see you, the one thing I feel like I have to say is thank you.
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us some of the greatest moments playing FIFA, because you can score from anywhere, incidentally, when we play as you, but some of the greatest moments in footballing history from a viewer's perspective, for those of us who are emotionally invested. Thank you for giving so much back to the game, as you do not only in your country. Thank you for being in South Africa, and also thank you for being so proudly South African in a weird way. I was watching you over Mandela Day and how much you were pushing the South African narrative and Tata Madiba's legacy. So thank you, my friend. Welcome to South Africa, buddy.
Merci. Merci.
I know you were here to meet me. That's great. Why else are you here? So obviously an incredible initiative. How are you feeling now that you're here in SA?
Ben, je suis heureux d'être à la maison. C'est toujours un honneur pour moi de revenir dans notre magnifique continent. Et j'espère que l'occasion qui nous amène à Cape Town aujourd'hui permettra à des millions de jeunes Africains d'être meilleurs que nous autres.
He's very happy to be here and to his home because he loves South Africa, and very proud to be here in South Africa as well. And then maybe he wished that maybe the project we've got in South Africa will make so many dreams, so many hope go success.
Oh, let's talk about those dreams, Sam. And again, I love you too, just by the way. Just to get the record straight. But Adam, let's put some context into exactly what Samuel's doing here. I mean, you're doing something incredible. It's called the Legacy Pitch in conjunction with Fives. Obviously, you being the founder, maybe you can shed some light on this incredible occasion that's happening.
So, thanks to SAB's generosity, we were able to build a legacy pitch. And obviously, you have no better brand in football or person than Samuel.
Yep. Sure.
I just did the good Cape Townian thing and convinced them to build it in the mother city. What's amazing is obviously we know we've got football talent here. We took former industrial land, we've built 2 fields, we've created 5 jobs, and then we've parked 2 NGOs who will be using the facility for free and off-peak times.
Wow.
The whole key is the sustainability. And the best thing for us is we actually have Samuel to launch it. You know, everyone's been looking for hope the last 18 months, and it's been a particularly difficult month in the country of South Africa. So if we can provide that, bring the main man here, you know, I think we've done our job.
Timing, yeah.
Samuel, how important is it, if you think back to when you were a young player, to have the platform to be able to play, to have the access to structures like this to be able to improve and develop your skill, but also to be able to see firsthand the stars that you've looked up to, the heroes that have motivated you. Why did you want to come all the way to South Africa for this? What was the tipping point, the motivation to be here?
Oh, quand on a été jeune et connu toutes les difficultés qu'on a connues, même pour jouer au football, même pour avoir déjà ce rêve, il est de notre devoir, quand on arrive de l'autre côté, de donner tout ce qu'on n'a pas eu à un moment donné.
Yeah, when we used to be young, we was dreaming to have all this environment of football, all this facility, all this infrastructure, and now it's time for him to give back to the young kids. So it's very important for him.
Et d'autre part, dans notre continent, on a beaucoup trop de talent. On a beaucoup trop de talent. Il faut qu'on permette à ce talent de s'exprimer, et il est de notre devoir de mettre toutes ces infrastructures à leur service. Et c'est ce que notre groupe a essayé de faire, et j'espère vraiment que ces jeunes garçons et filles qui profiteront de ces installations deviendront nos leaders de demain. Peut-être dans le football, d'autres à travers le football feront la politique, d'autres à travers le football deviendront des médecins. Mais le plus important pour nous, c'était de créer ce rêve, de permettre aux gens de demain de devenir des leaders à travers le football.
Yeah, it's very important to create this kind of dream. And we've got so many talent in Africa. Yeah. So many talent. He's very happy to be proud of this project. And he's take this opportunity to thank all this team working on this project during 5 years in Africa, in East Africa. And maybe with this project, we've got maybe will be some international player or some professional player or some medicine or wherever. So he's very happy to be in this project.
Oh man, and I mean, we are also happy just to have this. Like you said, Adam, absolutely perfect timing. And I mean, we could sit here and talk about the list of the accolades you've achieved and what you've done as an African and how you've inspired. Truly, absolutely incredible. But just weighing on something that's happening right now, I mean, we are in the midst of the Tokyo Olympics. You being an Olympian yourself among so many other accolades. I mean, take it back to 2000 in Sydney with Cameroon when you won that gold medal.
2001, I think.
2000, yeah. Thank you for correcting me.
It says it on the medal.
Clearly a big memory for you, your country, and I think for Africa as well. But if you can take us back to that moment, I mean, so many moments in your career we could speak about, but as an African, I think that was a big one. What did it feel like, and what was that moment like for you specifically?
C'était un moment difficile pour nous dès le départ, mais c'était un rêve tellement beau, tellement inaccessible. Seul le Nigeria avait pu arriver jusqu'à la médaille d'or, que cet enthousiasme nous a fait voyager. Et cet après-midi à Sydney, quand on devient médaillé d'or olympique, on avait pratiquement tout oublié. On avait pratiquement tout oublié, mais c'était tellement beau de vivre ces moments. Le village olympique où vous retrouvez toutes ces stars qui marchent un peu partout dans ces rues, qui partagent les mêmes restaurants avec vous. Il est vrai qu'aujourd'hui, la situation elle est difficile par rapport à la pandémie, mais à cette époque, on se mélangeait tous, on était dans le même village et c'était une grande famille du sport. Et c'est ce qui rendait encore ces Jeux olympiques uniques.
That was a great moment for him and for his team. An incredible moment because he was discovered this moment. And only Nigeria win this gold medal. And that was great for Africa. And when they realized this afternoon that they win this gold medal, so just after this they forget because this is quite different because in this area to this Olympics you can find some star people sharing the restaurant with you. It's very different. It's not like COVID time.
Sitting down with the same bolt.
It's not like the COVID time, but really enjoy this moment with Cameroon team.
I know we need to wrap this up. You've got a busy day ahead of you. You've got to go and school Adam on the pitch there.
It'll be easy for him. Alison has
you guys played yet?
No, we haven't played yet.
Good luck with that. But I've got to ask you, because the word legacy gets used a lot, especially for us since 2010. There was so much talk about what is the legacy of a World Cup? What is the legacy of a footballing star? What do you want your footballing legacy to be?
Comment tu veux que ta marque de football soit?
Oh, c'est difficile de dire, d'avoir une seule idée de football, parce que le football en lui-même, c'est plusieurs idées. Moi, la seule chose que je veux, c'est que ces moments passés dans un stade de football deviennent des moments inoubliables pour ceux qui ont la chance d'être dans un stade de football. C'est ça le plus important. C'est un moment de partage. À chaque fois qu'on est dans un stade de football, c'est un moment de partage qui nous permet de devenir après de très très bons amis pour de longues années.
He says it's a long story, so too many stories in the football. Just what he enjoys is that moment who used to be in this pitch. He really enjoyed, and this moment is a sharing moment for him and for the crowd.
Oh man, and the crowd misses you. The crowd misses you, my friend. There are so many questions we'd love to ask you, but the most important thing is that we have you here in South Africa doing something remarkable that is hopefully going to birth the next superstar, African superstar. So Adam, well done, buddy. I don't know how you pulled this one off.
I got very lucky. And we're hoping to expand this. I think the other advantage of Samuel being here is why stop at Cape Town?
Yeah.
You know, we've got the now brand Air 2x5, so...
Who is going to say no? Who is going to say no?
I think regardless, you guys will have to come play on his pitch.
Guys, thank you so much. Alison, thank you so much for joining us, gracing us with... And enjoy the football a little bit later, Samuel. I love you, man. I love you even more now. Thank you.
We love you, man.
Thank you.
Now let's talk great coffee. Nespresso's Reviving Origins is more about than just coffee. It's about rebuilding communities that have been adversely affected by global warming and economic instability. And really, it's all about reinvigorating one's booming coffee industry, right?
Now let's take a look at how Reviving Origins is supporting communities from our neighbor up north, Zimbabwe.
Coffee production in Zimbabwe declined due to prolonged period of economic instability and droughts. We have seen so many changes since the Nespresso AAA program has been implemented in this country. Together with Nespresso, we are developing the skills of the farmers to grow coffee in a sustainable manner. Share of high-quality coffee delivered by farmers has more than doubled. Farmers are doubling or even tripling their coffee income. They use their money to build better homes, send their children to school, and buy necessary supplies for their families and their farms. Through the AAA agronomy program, TechnoSafe teaches farmers everything they need to know about sustainable coffee farming and processing. Topics include shade, pest and disease management, harvesting and processing, pruning and rejuvenation, and sustainable practices that help to protect against climate threats. We also teach farmers important business skills like record keeping that help them manage their farms and improve their incomes. Now they tell us how excited they are to share their coffee again with the outside world. I grew up here seeing the challenges of the farmers around me. They would work hard but still not earn enough to provide a better future for their family. I'm so proud now to work with my fellow citizens of Zimbabwe to rebuild our coffee industry and make our country a better place. I believe Zimbabwe is the best coffee and we are excited to share it with the world.
You have got to love that. It's more than just coffee. It really is all about uplifting communities, and we're seeing that it's all about giving them the right skills to be able to share what they love doing with the world. It really is so heartwarming.
And I think for me, Uncle Tabiso, it really just warms my heart knowing that when we drink one of these Temukamu Zimbabwe coffees, we're helping to better the lives of others and really just build communities. So cheers to that.
I'll drink to that.
Every time you brew a cup of Reviving Origins coffee,
you're restoring land, empowering farmers, and supporting livelihoods.
So every sip touches hundreds of lives.
And offers an inspiring taste experience in return.
Welcome back. How badly do you want to play FIFA right now?
Wow.
I just want to play FIFA right now. Samuel, it's a massive thank you to him and Adam Fine, the guys from Fives Football. What a coup for South Africa, for the continent to have him here. But let's get back to the business. Let's get into those news headlines and our sporting headlines as well.
Thank you, boys. 3 minutes after 8. Time to have a final look at what's happening in and around the world. Starting with your national news. Now, the Department of Public Enterprises announced yesterday that Transnet had restored port operations after a cyber attack disruption at its key container terminals. Customers are now again able to access the customer links to facilitate imports and exports. The resumption of Transnet's operations was termed good news, as it is the backbone of the country's economy. And then the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria has confirmed that America has donated 5.7 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to South Africa. The embassy says it's the largest single consignment ever from the U.S. since the country began sending vaccine to other countries. The U.S. government had earlier announced that it would ship some 10 million doses of vaccine to South Africa and Nigeria today. The White House said it was essential that countries had equal access to safe and effective vaccines. And then looking to our international headlines, people in Tanzania are being actively encouraged to get COVID-19 vaccinations in a dramatic change of policy for one of Africa's most populous countries. Heading the campaign is the new president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, and her predecessor, John Magufuli, played down the virus, calling for prayer instead of vaccines and masks. Officially, the country of 58 million people has recorded only 29 deaths due to coronavirus and 858 infections, but fears are rife that the true numbers have been grossly misreported. And then staying with the international news, China is expanding its capacity to store and launch nuclear missiles, U.S. scientists say. Satellite images from Xinjiang province in the west of the country suggest it's building a nuclear missile silo field, the second one being built in the last 2 months. The site can accommodate some 110 silos, which are underground facilities used for storing and launching of missiles. Earlier, it was reported 120 silos were spotted on a site in a desert area in Yemen. The U.S. has expressed concern about the build-up. And then next, please watch this lucky tortoise enjoy his homemade scratcher. A zookeeper in Dallas, Texas has made a tortoise a homemade scratching station, and a cute video shows the little creature wriggling and rocking while trying it out for the first time. Morgan Brem, a zoo intern, created the scratching device for Sunny, a radiated tortoise. Now made from broom heads, it's perfect for the little guy to scratch the impossible to reach spots on top of his shell. Sunny has been at the impressive Dallas Zoo since 1980, and Brem says tortoises' shells are part of their spine and they have nerve endings which run on the top. She explains that the name radiated tortoise comes from the pattern on Sunny's shell. The top part of his shell has yellow lines that radiate out from the center and look like sunbursts, hence the name, of course. Sunny is a firm favorite at the zoo because, says Brem, an engaging personality helps inspire visitors to want to create a better world for animals. And look at that, Sunny. You certainly are spreading all that positivity with us. Well, that is where I wrap your news headlines. Here is G with another look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie Lee. Let's focus on the Olympics this morning. South Africa's Tatjana Schoenmaker and Kayleen Corbett are both through to the women's 200-meter breaststroke final. It was after finishing first in their respective semis earlier this morning. So yesterday, Schoenmaker, who is already a silver medal winner in Tokyo, set a new Olympic record as well in her heat. And she'll go into tomorrow's final with the best time of 2 minutes, 19.33 seconds from the semis. And then Corbett heads into the final as fourth fastest after finishing in an equally impressive time, 2 minutes and 22.08 seconds. On the men's draw, SA's Michael Saitz finished 8th in the semi-final of the men's 200-meter individual medley. Then Mexico's under-23 side have qualified for the knockout stages of the men's football tournament at the Olympics after beating South Africa 3-0 yesterday. South Africa finished at the bottom of Group A despite putting in a very spirited performance. That was after 3 back-to-back losses. So Mexico then made it to 2-0 at the break thanks to goals by Alexis Vega and Luis Luis Romo. Then South African captain Tertius Malepe was handed a red card for a dangerous foul in the 55th minute. Then their opponents sealed the win with a third goal on the hour mark by Henry Martin. So Mexico will now face South Korea in the quarterfinals, and that's on Saturday. And after winning their matches against Australia and the USA, both stiff opposition on the final day of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Olympic Games, the Springbok Sevens side finished in 5th place. Blitzbok head coach Neil Powell joined his team for their final fixture in Tokyo after recovering from his bout of COVID-19. Fiji went on to secure a 27-12 win over old foes New Zealand to win the Olympic gold now for a second consecutive time. The All Black Sevens team settled for silver, with Argentina beating Great Britain to claim that bronze. And then finally onto the Olympic courts. World number 1 Novak Djokovic will face Kei Nishikori in the quarterfinals of the men's singles tennis tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Serb defeated the 34th ranked Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain 6-3, 6-1 as he continued his bid for a golden slam this year. Home favourite, of course, Nishikori of Japan booked his place in the quarters after seeing off Belarusian Ilya Ivashka 7-6, 6-love. And that is, with a big sigh, a wrap of our sport this morning. Incredible to have Samuel Eto'o in studio. So thank you so much to 5 Football. Hopefully you enjoyed that as well. Now let's see what the weather has in store for us.
Thank you very much, Graham. Now, if you've wondered if it's your imagination playing games on you that Gauteng's jacarandas are flowering earlier and earlier each year, well, it's not. The jacaranda trees that transform the province into a purple vista every spring flower earlier because of climate change. Now, this has been scientifically documented in a paper by Jennifer Fitchett and Kestrel Rake of the School of Geography, Archaeology and Environmental Studies at WITS, published in the journal Urban Forestry and Urban Greening. In the 1920s and 30s, jacaranda trees only started to bloom in mid-November, but gradually over decades, the date of bloom has shifted to October and then to early or the weeks of September. Now, this phenomena is closely linked to climate change and the timing and amount of rainfall, occurrence of frost, humidity and sunshine hours. Pretoria is colloquially called the Jacaranda City and has some 33,700 jacarandas. Now, I know that you saw us filling our cups with coffee, that Tamukamu Zimbabwe coffee, Zimbabwean coffee to be more specific. So we thought we would highlight the spectacular beauty and grandeur of the Victoria Falls. Look at that, the Victoria Falls, a waterfall on the Zambezi River out in southern Africa, which provides habitat for several unique species of animals and plants. It's located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. It is considered to be one of the world's largest waterfalls due to its width of 1,708 meters, and its highest point is 108 meters. On the Zimbabwean side of the falls lies the Victoria Falls rainforest, which provides an incredibly unique environment for the plant and animal life. It's beautiful. Now, this rainforest is the only place on Earth where it rains all day, every day. This is a direct result of the water vapor rising from the falls, which then falls as rain in the rainforest. It's wild. Now, today, the area of Victoria Falls will experience a pleasantly, sunny day, pleasant sunshine, and a few patches of clouds reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. Now, bringing it back to South Africa, we can't have a weather update without a few sunrise photos. No, we will not do that. So we started the morning with Joey Peterson from Umhlanga, who is becoming a familiar name with her regular contributions of pictures. We love them. Just take a look at this. That stunning burnt orange sunrise captured through the trees. And then we got one from Lindy Okamp-Klassen from Queensberry Bay, who gave us all the summer feels with this photo taken of the sun rising over the ocean with those palm trees perfectly positioned in the foreground. We love it. 7 o'clock this morning, Lizelle Vidboy from Ocean View shared this moody and cloudy photo of the sun breaking through the heavy cloud cover in the distance. And last but not least, how's that? MV Dlamini from Skukuza, who shared this great shot overlooking a river flowing through the game reserve. It's beautiful. It's showing off those rays of sun that pop through the trees. We love it. Now, we want you to continue sharing your sunrise photos with us on our Facebook page and show us how you start your day in your part of the country. And now a final look at the temperatures. Polokwane, 6 is your low, reaching a high of 20, with sunny Mbombela starting off at 9 today, reaching a high of 29. If you're in the capital city, the Jacaranda City, 20. Pretoria 6 and 22, with sunny times out in Johannesburg 5 and 18. Mahikeng 4, that's your low, reaching a high of 23, with Klerksdorp coming in at 1 and 21. If you find yourself in Kimberley today, 0, that's where you start off peaking at 20, with -1, that's the start for Bloemfontein, reaching a high of 20. And it's sunny out in Richards Bay, 14 and 26, those are your temperatures, with 1% chance of rain. Yes, 1% only. Pietermaritzburg 7, reaching a high of 26, with the warmest place to be Durban 14 and 24. Mthatha today 4 and 24, with East London starting off at 10 and reaching highs of 22. If you're in Craddock, 0, that's your start. You will peak at 21, with Gqeberha at 8 and 19. George 7 and 17. Cape Town, the mother city, rainy times today, 8, peaking a high of 15, and Worcester is at 4 and 14, with a 40% chance of rain over there today. Sutherland -3, that's your start, peaking at 13. And last, certainly not least, Uppington 2, that's your low, reaching a high of 21. And that's a wrap of your weather for today.
Thank you so much, Tubbs. Now we're back once again on the Expresso stage with singer and songwriter Monga K, and he's treating us to a track that he wrote as a love letter to black woman called All That I Deserve. Let's take it away.
Shout out to black women, I love y'all.
Do you wanna figure this out with me? Make a life with me. Close your eyes, let's see. I'm halfway on the plane of serendipity. You're a symphony that heals me. Your vibe is immaculate. Your mind, I stay trapped in it. And all over the world, they're screaming praises. Of course you get all you desire and more. I just wanna show you more. You're all that I deserve. You're all that I deserve and more. You're all that I deserve. You're all that I deserve and more. I wanna say I can quit, but I would be losing it. You're every part of me and more. Damn, is it worth the risk? You're all that I deserve. You're all that I deserve and more. Tell me, am I wasting my time? Why am I enamored with your design? Divine introduction to how we're programmed to function. Let's move forward to that someday of loving. And my big old age, I'm here to let the goodness stay. Reciprocation granted before I ever pass away. Into the morning, into the night. Treat me right and I'll be your light. You're all that I deserve. You're all that I deserve and more. You're all that I deserve. You're all that I deserve and more. I wanna say I can quit, but I would be losing it. You're every part of me and more. Is it worth the risk? You're all that I deserve. The sights we haven't seen are the moments from our dreams. Superfluous energy will keep us banded together. I don't wanna sound profound, but you and me, that makes the world go round. Orbit on its axis, do I love you? You don't have to ask this. Let me prove to you that I'm the truth. These lips ain't never been that loose. Come through, let me serenade you to the stars and the moon. My ancestors said we're meant to be tethered. I'll fight for this cause I know we can't be severed. Yeah. You're all that I deserve and more. You're all that I deserve and more. I wanna say I can quit, but I would be losing it. You're every part of me and more. Is it worth the risk? You're all that I deserve and more. And more, and more.
observe on this show, I've got goosebumps, man. There was absolute magic. Beautiful stuff coming from Mongo, of course, and there's one more performance coming at you. Don't go anywhere.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's tissue oil and rich body care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're going to have to forgive us. We're going to be doing a lot of that every session. So, yes, we did have Expresso in studio. One reason to be incredibly proud to be African. Another is our natural heritage, this beautiful wildlife we are surrounded by. Now, we're going to return to a story that we did connect with in November last year. We shared the beautiful story of how the Johannesburg Wildlife Veterinary Hospital, who do amazing work, had rescued a very rare orphaned Aardwolf cub. And that was after she had been spotted by a border collie, of all things, on a Northwest Province farm. Now, a team from the hospital collected her, and Maple, as she is affectionately known, soon started to thrive. Yes. Look at that.
So cute and incredible. Now, by December, she was doing enrichment tasks that mimicked how her life would be back in nature. Now, that's where she is right now, living her life to the fullest, thanks to a second chance that she's been released into the wild. And here to tell us about it, Lauren Beckley, a permitted wildlife rehabilitator who hand-reared Maple, is joining us right now in the studio to tell us more about this absolute magic. How are you doing this morning?
Morning, guys. Good, thanks, and you?
Oh, so good, so good.
Lauren, how do you not cry every time you look at pictures of that gorgeous, gorgeous little creature? So let's go back to the beginning. That is undoubtedly the cutest thing I think I've ever seen.
I think it's official, G.
Yeah, no, that's official. It's official. It's so tiny. It's so sweet. What exactly were the circumstances that prompted the rescue in the first place, Lauren?
Okay, so, yeah, as you mentioned, she was found by a dog on a farm in Northwest. They were bringing their sheep in, and the dog noticed something strange by one of the trees near to the house. And they went over and had a look, and there was Maple. Yeah, she wasn't in a great way. She was really thin, dehydrated. And so they contacted Nikki Wright, our rehabilitation specialist, and Nikki gave them some tips on how to try and find Mom. And for the next 2 or 3 nights, they tried to locate Mom. They put her out in a field, hungry, to let her, you know, cry for food. But no Mom was found. They found a den, but that belonged to bat-eared foxes. So the decision was made to bring her into the wildlife vet and for us to raise her. It's always top goal is to get them back to mom, but if mom's not there, then
Sure.
we obviously step in. So, yeah, Maple came to me, and everything went, exploded from there, this internet sensation.
Yeah, now listen, I believe that Maple's back in the wild. How is she actually currently doing?
She's doing great. She went up to a rehab centre up in Kalahari called the Kalahari Wildlife Project. Friends of ours that we work with closely. And she is often seen walking around on the farm. She's free to come and go as she pleases. And she's living her best Artwolf life.
Oh, how did you do it? Did you kiss its little face off every single day? What was it like being able to, and we know it's fleeting and that you guys have a kind of strict regimen of kind of rules that you have to adhere to, but you must get hugely emotionally invested in something, a process like this. What was that experience of being a part of a rehabilitation like for you?
It's a lot of fun. So yes, we would like to kiss faces off of them, but not possible. They do, being mammals, they do need the interaction and stuff like that. And Maple is my second Artwolf that I've raised.
Oh, wow.
Amber was the first. And yeah, it's a lot of love and attention. She does need the interaction. She does need to play. She does need to learn. So you just, they have such big personalities that you can't not want to interact with them. I always, when people ask me how is it to raise an Artwolf, my only explanation is it's like having a toy pom on tick. They are absolutely insane.
What an explanation.
Next time, lead with that, and we'll know exactly.
Say no more. Look, I've got a question, and I might be naive, but like I've never seen an Artwolf before, ever. So what is it actually, and why is it clearly so rare? I haven't seen one, and I've seen a few animals in my day, to be honest. But what are these incredible zebra-looking creatures that
zebra wolf?
The G is even associated with something of the likes of a young Carl Wasty. But yeah, why are they so rare, and what are they even?
So they're not really rare. The only reason why we say they are rare is because no one ever sees them. They are nocturnal, shy, elusive animals. So adults are completely different to the pups. The cubs are insane, whereas the adults are shy and elusive, and they only come out at night. They're related to the hyenas, except they are insectivorous. So their main food is termites, but they will eat other bugs and grubs and things like that as well. But yeah, you just will never see them because they're always out at night.
Very reclusive, which makes this whole experience that much more magical. Well, thank you so much for introducing us to Carl Wasty's spirit animal. I wish he was in studio so that we could compare our mohawks. There he is. But well done. We're in awe of the work that you guys do. We've covered you with so many of these kinds of stories. So thank you so much for putting in the time and the effort behind this. We know it's lovely to see a viral sensation online, but we often forget about the amount of effort and work and consideration that goes in behind the scenes. So thank you so much for playing your part in this beautiful story, and we're going to ask you to stick around because we're going to talk a little bit more Artwolf and a little bit more wildlife in just a moment.
Perfect.
Well, we're putting our best foot forward. Honestly, it needs a moment of silence. It's a local delicacy.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, we recently asked you which South African meal deserves more praise, and Mpho Blessing Maimela said pap and chicken feet. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we were so inspired by that we decided to do a special recipe just for you, Mpho. In fact, I also did offer to Jamie Lee that we'd be making chicken feet sometime, and she would be here to taste the chicken feet. And of course, Chef Winnie is here to make sure that that can happen. Thank you so much, Chef Maotwana.
Maotwana.
Wow. I mean, it's been so long. I grew up on that. I mean, I can tell you, we used to pay for R2.50. I think we used to get 6 of those. those, and with Malana. It was the best thing. Right?
You'll never go wrong.
You cannot go wrong. But you're elevating Maotwana today, and you really are giving blessing Maimela and new experience. Let's see.
Okay. Ours is very simple and easy. What we're going to do, just drizzle olive oil.
Some clover, olive pride going in there. Of course, we're using that blend because it's highly recommended for hot applications such as frying, grilling, stewing and baking. I've told you before. You have to keep this in mind. It's got a high smoke point, but the nice thing about it is it does maintain an olive flavor. And clover olive pride, the great news is that it's endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, which is a great tick there. And chicken feet are popular in many countries, especially here in Mzansi. It's often enjoyed as a snack. You know, you can keep it in a skaftin and eat it throughout the day, or part of the main meal. There are many ways to cook it, but we'll tell you all about it. Let's go. What else is going in there?
Okay, now I'm gonna just saute my onion. From there, I'm gonna just add curry powder.
Curry powder.
Just cook a little bit.
I'm even remembering just coming back home from school, the smell of Maotwana is done and it's ready with all of the spices and herbs that my mom would add. It was so inviting. You could smell it from outside.
How do you have them?
With pap.
With pap.
And you have to do this with your pap. You have to get the pap, fold it in, and then make a ball.
That's what I want you to do now, so that we can remind you from coming from home.
Say less, say less. So,
but now we're going to have our pap in a different way.
I am very interested to see how we're going to be doing that.
Because there's so many ways to cook pap. But today you're just going to make a paste.
Okay.
Just add water in there.
So this is mini meal.
Maize meal,
maize meal, rather. And then you've got water going in there.
Just making a paste there.
Okay.
So that it mustn't have lumps.
This is so interesting.
We don't want lumps.
So how do you beat this? Do you just like gently
combine
go
everything?
like this, just to make sure that all of the water and the mpupu incorporates really nicely? Great. Okay, cool. So how are we doing there? How are we looking?
Okay. It's looking good. What you can do, you can bring it in here now. Just gonna put it in the boiling water.
The trick here is to make sure that you've got no lumps.
No lumps.
Very important, guys. Keep that in mind.
Very good. And then you can add in there.
Okay, so that's going into our pot. Oh, now your onions are looking good there. Your onions are really looking
so good, hey?
Okay.
And then you can give it a stir.
Oh,
with the same wooden
do you
spoon.
want to do it for us over there?
Perfect.
Yeah, you go. Because you're the professional here. You're the pro. So you would stir that for how long? Would you?
Okay, what you do, you're just gonna stir it, and then you remember now, when you talk about starch, it needs to gelatinize.
Okay.
Now it's gonna thicken. Can you see now it's becoming more thick?
So the more you go, the thicker it gets.
And then when it's thickening, what you're gonna do, you're gonna just close it and then give it another 10 minutes, just lower the heat, let it steam.
Yeah.
From there, open it, and then you can still cook it again.
The one thing I remember about anything that's got to do with pap is that you got to pay attention. You have to make it with love. And when I say make it with love, I mean take your time. You've got to constantly be checking in on your pot to see that there are no lumps, that it hasn't gotten too thick as well, because you don't want pap too thick. Jamie Lee is going to love this, because I'm going to be giving her such a treat and such an experience a bit later on when our thing is done, when our maotwana or our chicken feet are done. So what's going in there next?
Okay, I added some chilies there. From them, just going to get brown onion soup, little bit of water, make a paste again.
You are going all the way in with the flavor, and I am here for it. I am on time.
Oh, it smells so good, man.
It does smell so good.
And then maotwana has already been cleaned. You know how to clean them?
Obviously, how you clean maotwana is that you boil your water. Dip them in the water, right? Immerse them in the water, and then you've got a cloth. Get them out the boiled water or boiling water.
And then,
but make sure that they don't cook in the boiling water. You don't want to cook them.
You don't want to cook them.
Listen here, we've made this super easy for you if you want to get involved with this. If you want the recipe, go on to expressoshow.com if you need a reminder of the steps that have taken place here. But before we do that, let's get Jamie Lee over here. Jamie Lee Domberg, this has been prepared, made with love for you.
I've never tried this in my life. I'm a bit nervous.
Why is your voice shaky?
Okay,
this is
no, I'm
nice.
gonna do it.
We're giving you a bit of culture here. Yeah, I want to hear the crunch, baby girl. The crunch,
those
my love.
Bones.
No, so the bones must be in your mouth at the same time.
Oh, the chili.
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Show me how to eat
very
it.
quickly. So you take your chicken foot, okay?
Yes.
And you can start wherever you want, but how I do it is I start there by the actual...
The nails.
By the nails.
Oh, they're so good, man.
Come. Come now. No. Don't make it... Just touch your teeth. You must eat the thing. It's not about introducing it to your teeth.
I'll eat it off
No,
air.
look. I'm almost done. Come, go.
Okay, yeah.
Choops.
It's nice and crunchy. I love it. I love the spice to it. So yeah, I tried it.
I'd like to see that foot in your mouth, please. Oh, well, that's happening.
In the pub?
If you missed any of the steps involved in how to make this delicacy, I love it. I'm so excited. Check this out.
Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I've got a bit of spice in my mouth.
Did you try some of that?
I did try the chicken feet. Delicious sauce. Interesting, really interesting. So let's go from our kitchen back into the wild. We're venturing into the wild this morning, talking about an incredible little creature called the aardwolf, more specifically the aardwolf cub that is named Maple. Look at the state of the cuteness there. She was rescued and then given a second chance by the incredible Johannesburg Wildlife Veterinary Hospital. Lauren, one of the rehabilitators, is still with us. Lauren, thanks for sticking around. I wish we could devote
No
like a
worries.
full hour to this, just so we could keep looking at that gorgeous little thing.
Yeah,
She's so sweet, man.
Cuteness overload. But let's get into more of its real lifestyle, its habitat. Where are they actually found? I mean, you definitely mentioned earlier that they're quite rare in terms of the fact that they're nocturnal, and that's why we don't see them, but they are quite common. But where exactly are they dwelling, living, and what's their like main place to just play?
So you find them throughout South Africa. They are found in the bushveld, in grasslands, dry arid regions like the Kalahari. They just don't like forests or wooded areas. Anywhere where you can find termites, that's where you'll find aardwolves. And they live in burrows, so during the day they are fast asleep underground. And at night when they go out and forage, and that's the only time you'll see them.
Little punk rocker foragers. Eh? The hair is what makes it for me. But I've got to ask you in a broader sense, because you obviously do a lot in this space. With a wild animal that's found, in most cases, on a farm, how do you go about successfully reintroducing her back into the wild?
Okay, so each animal has their own needs, but with Maple specifically, so she does need the interaction. She does need she did need to be handled and given attention to, but it's a limited amount of time. So she was in my house for a couple of months, where she would go with me to work and all that sort of stuff, and she was with me 24/7. But once she was ready and I'd weaned her milk down a bit, she then moved into an outside enclosure where the only time I spent with her was when I went in to feed her in the mornings and in the evenings. And when she was ready and pretty much just about off her milk, she was then sent up to the Kalahari Wildlife Project. And she was still given a bottle so she could bond with the person up there, and put into a pre-release enclosure where she was then walked every night to go and forage and learn how to forage and find what she needs. And so it was just every day walking. And once she was ready, her enclosure is left open and she can come and go as she pleases, and she still gets support fed until she decided that she was ready to leave and she was happy to find her own food. And like I said, she's still seen, and but she will eventually just decide not to come back one day.
You must have gone through withdrawal, having to say goodbye to that little thing. Just very quickly, how can we support the work that you guys do? Can we make donations? What do you need as a non-profit?
Okay, so we rely heavily on the generosity of the public. So, donations of monetary kind, or even stuff that's on our wish list on our website. We also have an online store, so people buying merchandise, those sort of things. That's just greatly appreciated, and that's the only way we can do what we do. Medicine's expensive, food's expensive. So if people are wanting to support us in that way, it'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Mzansi, definitely do. I mean, just looking at these visuals, the amount of care, effort that goes into this incredible work. Thank you so much for what you're doing, Lauren, and for just sharing some more on these incredible cuting overload creatures that are the art of wolf.
Thank you.
Well, we've been cooking up a storm in the kitchen, and here's how you can find further inspiration in the kitchen. Well, let me tell you, cooking just got a whole lot easier again with the arrival of recipe apps, okay? So Grant is here to chat to us about those apps. But first, can we talk about their shoes?
Oh, these ones?
I feel like you put your best shoes forward for Samuel Eto'o this morning.
So these are Power Ranger shoes. These are the Power Ranger collabs. Check them out. So yeah, I really like them. I'm a bright person. I like bright colors.
They're matching your hair. They're matching your jersey. Is this the dad look?
Yes, this is what? I was trying to be trendy. Lena came in here, the producer, and she said, "This is your dad look," and I was so upset. No, teasing.
It is. It's definitely your dad look. But listen, we have to talk about these apps. Dad. It's going to be teaching us how to cook, which I love because normally I'm team Google. Google everything. Last night I Googled how to boil quinoa.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Yeah, cooking quinoa is it's a good start.
Good start.
Apps are very helpful for a couple of reasons, and cooking is such a diverse thing. Obviously, Google's a great search engine, but a bunch of apps can help you cook correctly, or help you find new recipes, or help you make recipes better. The first one is Kitchen Stories. Kitchen Stories is actually a really incredible app. If you love high-quality, polished video, Kitchen Stories is a great app for you to use because you can see some really high-end production quality in that, which is great. And then it's like having it at your fingertips, which is really cool. The second app is an app called Tasty, which...
Can I just talk about that one? Because that one literally looks like our feed, Expresso's feed, because our feed is so good and it just looks next level with regards to all the food that we post on our content.
Yes.
So basically it's the same stuff.
I'm hoping one day we have an Espresso app,
Hey, put it out there. Cool. You can help us. Okay, so the next one is?
So the next one is Tasty, which is a community-driven app.
Funny.
So Tasty is great. It's actually a BuzzFeed production. And one of the things they've done is they've put all these recipes together, and if you're an individual that's used the app, you can contribute to making that recipe better, or making sure that recipe that you're tweaked. So people take photographs of themselves having cooked that a particular meal, which is really cool.
I think I can now put my chicken feet recipe on there because I've tried chicken feet now. Have you ever tried chicken feet?
I have not, but I don't eat meat.
Yeah, you're vegan now.
Yeah.
So.
So that's one thing. But anyway, so that is tasty. Where you can contribute your own recipes is an app called Yumly. Yumly is also a way for a community to upload what they have, but also to discover brand new recipes. If you feel like a recipe that you want to find, like if you want to cook for something but you're uninspired, you need that inspiration. Yumly is a great app to use for that. And then lastly, the app that I'm probably it's called Oh She Gives.
She Gives?
Yeah, it's the one app that I'll probably use the most. It's actually just for vegetarian and vegan cooking. So if you want to just have something focused on that.
Oh She Glows.
Oh She Glows. Sorry,
my bad. Glows. Now, can you add your own ingredients to this as well? Can you spice it up as well, or is it just set?
So these are set meals, but it's great if you are looking to eat more plant-based. A lot of South Africans come from a very meat-centric diet. So when people say plant-based, everybody rolls their eyes, and people think it's so strange. But it's actually pretty normal to have entire societies that live off plant-based meals, and we can now educate ourselves and go like, hey, what other meals can I cook? And just get creative. Like you were saying, you cooked quinoa.
And
you had to Google that last night, which was great.
Yeah. Let us know what apps you're going to be trying. Grant Hines is here with us for all the apps that you can use in your kitchen, but we have some more magic in the kitchen after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yep, welcome back. You're still live on an absolutely incredible show. We've got superstars all around, all the way from Africa, and one of them is in the kitchen this morning. But the secret ingredient to any recipe with this man is love. Now, it's Chef Clem we're talking about. It is introducing us to a new version of the old classic, hartsochies. Now, instead of apricot jam, he's filling them with luscious strawberry jam. Chef Clem, I know you know how we do the things, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm seeing beautiful colors on the table. Get in my belly!
Yeah, because strawberries, like I said yesterday, like they're amazing on their own, but the fact that you can create so many different dishes with them.
Yes.
So, hartsochies, like you said, traditionally made with an apricot jam. Today, because of the deal, buy any 400-gram punnets from Woolies, $70. So we're just going
so we almost have to make this.
Yes,
why not?
absolutely.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to ask you to start rolling out your dough a little bit more for me, and then I'll give you the cookie cutter.
Dough, okay.
And you're going to line your muffin tins for me. Normally you use a slightly smaller baking tin, but I know everybody's got a muffin tin at home. So you're going to get a bigger hartsoch. You're going to get a hartsoch. instead of a sochi.
Not a sochi, a soch.
So
Cool.
you're on pastry.
Okay, pastry duty going down.
I've
What are
taken
you up to over there?
Sorry, what? Oh, me? Strawberries?
Yes,
I was actually going to just like take a break and chill. And then, no, I got to. Okay, strawberries, I've just taken them and I've quartered them. I've got a little bit of water in the pot. I'm going to add it there. We're going to make like a quick type of jam, okay?
Okay.
And then to that, a little sugar.
Is this a nice jam that I could possibly even use just on my own?
Absolutely. And you can play around with it. You can play around, instead of adding sugar, add honey, add anything you want to, like any other sweetener to it. You can maybe even just chop up some dates, put that in there instead of
Ooh,
sugar.
nice. All right, okay, we're talking some good stuff now. All right.
And then a little vanilla, and you're gonna turn the heat down. Ooh, it's the good stuff. This is the vanilla paste, okay? This stuff is just magic. You see, you're gonna just like see, it's like intense with vanilla flavor.
It's small as well.
You can smell it immediately, and a little bit goes a long way. So turn that heat down, and you're gonna cook it. Keep an eye on it until you get like a nice jammy consistency, and this will live in the fridge for like a really, really long time.
A quick question.
Ask
Does
it.
jam go off?
No.
I've had jam for years in the fridge, and it tastes like day one. Am I kidding myself?
The purpose of jam was actually to preserve. So it's doing its job. Preserving the fruit or whatever you've jamified.
All right, I got you.
The strawberries are so good.
I see, so you can't help yourself, eh?
Okay. You rolled out the
done my
pastry.
rolling. Is that up to your standard? Perfecto, all right. And then I'm going to cut them out with this little...
There you go.
What is this thing?
Use
like
a little trick for
cookie
you.
cutter.
It's a cookie cutter, but at home you can use like a mug. You know, old school. Use a mug.
I like that, yeah.
When you get it down, don't wiggle it like all over the place. Give it a little twist. Okay. You don't want to break the dough.
So, twist, right?
Yes, you put it down and then you... I love it. That's amazing. That is amazing. I love it. Okay. To our blender, we're going to make a very quick pastry, which is soft raisin flour.
Okay. By the way, I am putting it in the baking tray thingamajiggy.
Yeah. So
Yes.
like I said, at home you would use a smaller tin, okay? So you got a bit of like the sides to kind of hold the jam.
So this is supposed to cover the whole...
Someone did you dirty.
Someone did me young.
Somebody. It wasn't me. But basically, you've got the right idea. Get it in there, get a bit of a lip to hold the jam in.
just to contain it. I got you.
Okay. Some ice cold butter. I even put my butter in the freezer for like 5 minutes before I do this.
What's the reason for it needing to be cold?
You want the butter to cut through the flour. So when you do work with it, you can see the little extra dark little ridges of its little spots over there.
Yeah.
That's just butter. So you're going to give it like a nice, short, crumbly butter, which is exactly what you want.
The good stuff, right?
The good stuff. Okay, sugar goes in, baking powder, and a little bit of salt. Just a little bit, just like that. That's all you need.
It's just crazy how you use salt and sweet meals as well, but it's such an essential, right, for balance.
So we're going to pulse it for what looks like breadcrumbs. Then to that, you're going to add your egg yolks. So it'll give us beautiful richness.
Nice.
And a little bit of water just to bring it all together. That's our pastry. You knead it all together and you're done. So what I do is I make a big batch of this and just freeze pastry, keep it in the freezer for whenever I need it for other little
Smart,
dishes.
so you can use it in the future as well.
I literally have pastry from before lockdown.
Wow, the free pastry. The pastry that has...
That was free. Wow.
Wow, that is... I wonder if it tastes any different to what it does now.
No.
It's the same, right?
Same, absolutely.
Cool, man. So jam I can keep forever, pastry I can keep forever. This whole thing I can just have on standby for whenever the guests come.
Whenever you need it. So you can see it's starting to come together. You see that? What we do is you want to add a little bit of water, like a tablespoon of water. Give it a good blend again, and you're done. So you've got that done for me already.
Yes.
We've got the base. We've got our strawberries. You need that coconut topping on our aardsochie.
Yes,
And I realized I actually haven't had aardsochie in like a very long time. And the reason is because of lockdown. Normally you get this when you go to like the auntie's house for the
I was
celebration.
going to say the same thing. The big family functions
Yeah.
where you meet your cousins for the first time as well, and 300 other people that are related
Right.
to you. This is like a
Hello.
standard. It's nostalgic.
It's your oom, and I'm sitting there like,
yeah, and you're just sitting there hoping your cheeks stay on your face.
oh no. So this is like
I'm feeling that, yeah.
It's a celebration thing. So what you're gonna do is just make it. Just make it at home and celebrate today. That's what you're gonna do.
Celebrate life, your house.
Absolutely.
The fact that we still have opportunity in such a chaotic time in the world right now.
Eat aardsochies.
What more reason do we need? Yeah, eat
Absolutely.
aardsochies.
Okay, egg whites and sugar whisked together to make it like a nice little foamy meringue. Coconut goes in there, desiccated coconut. You're gonna fold it through, and this is our topping. So, Raul, I'm gonna ask you, can you spoon some of that jam into your beautiful, you can bring it a little center, and we just fly
Good,
this.
especially when it comes to the big spoon as well. Putting it straight in there.
Oui.
Got you. All right. And for you people out there at home watching all this magic go down right now in the kitchen and want to know what's going on, head over to the expressoshow.com. Right now you can find the recipe inspiration for this beautiful infusion of strawberry, not apricot, you heard right, strawberry hertzogis. Am I putting enough in here?
You're doing a good job. Can we kind of bring it to the middle so we can kind of do the same time? Let's see.
All right.
So you work, I'm going to turn it this way so you can continue filling those.
Yeah.
And then I am going to take 2 spoons and just spoon over the coconut topping.
Oh, yes.
You can use a piping bag, but our grannies didn't have piping bags, so you must do it like this.
We had mugs and spoons.
Here we go. Done. That goes to the oven. And they come out looking beautiful like that. You can see the layers. I'm gonna kind of like, this a little bit. You can see the layers. It's the coconut, it's the jam, it's the pastry. These are it's so easy to make, and it's like little happiness. Make a lot. Because they do keep as well. So you make some today, you might have some left for Saturday. They're delicious, they're so good.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, expressoshow.com. These hertzogis are going to get you on your knees, and you're going to be asking, please, can I have one more? Because they are that good. Chef Clem.
You want to try one?
Yes, please, man. While you guys get back to the rest of the magic on the show, I'm going to chow down. Cheers. I'm back home. I can see the family around me.
Stand up!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful people. Yes, it is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's Expresso live on S3. Now listen to this, okay? We've got one more electrifying performance from singer and songwriter Monga K. Headed your way and is about to perform a really fantastic song. But first, let's really appreciate the fact that the third outfit. Now, this is giving me all Army veteran energy, and with reason, right? Because the song is strong, it's powerful. It's from his upcoming EP. It's called Candid. And I promise you, this one is going to have you standing on your feet, raising your hand like this, exclaiming that you're black, free, and beautiful. Take it away.
Period. Thank you.
I'm black, free, and beautiful. This carefree means undisputable. I'm black, free, and beautiful. This carefree means undisputable. Yeah. Have to watch the way I speak so you can call me friendly. Tremble down before you know where you can live in envy. You burn cities in the name of greed, ain't that appalling? Make the world about you, oh my lord, you so boring. Separated homes, but you cower. Jaded in your mind and you devour. Limit my potential, but I got the power. In the name of love, I'm gonna holler. I'm free. This carefree means undisputable. unpresentable, unconventional. Am I the poster boy for everything you need to know? Go read a book or something by people that's tired. We may be the joyous human beings alive, but we don't have time for no mutual lip. You imitate that melanin, cool for your benefit. Truth to power in the name of love, and we're gonna holla. Yeah. Carefree means undisputable. Free, this carefree means undisputable. Yeah. I'm black, free and beautiful. Black, free and beautiful. Undisputable. I'm undisputable. It's undisputable in me. Yeah. I'm black, free and beautiful. Black, free and beautiful. Black, free and beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Monga K on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Guys, are you black?
Yes.
Are you free?
Yeah.
Are you beautiful?
Yeah.
Monga, thank you so much for that. Take a bow, man. That is beautiful stuff.
Have we been sleeping on this guy? Do
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Wow.
Different trends, vibes, everything.
The vibe, and what a lovely human being as well. Thank you so much for blessing us with your considerable talents this morning, my friend. Take another bow. We love you, sir.
Well, listen, we're back again with you tomorrow. We do this all over again, all the feel good between 6 and 9. Thank you so much, guys, for a great
Samuel
show.
Asa was also here, guys. Take a moment.
Love you, Sam.
Yeah, and we're coming live from Glen Beach tomorrow. We'll see you there.
Adios.
Say it with steaming hot